All right, what's going on, guys? This is a Throne Runner here. We're back again with another pack review. This time, as you can see, and I guess every time that Joe and I do a stream, we add a couple new faces. So now we're up to 4 people, and we're doing the Watchers on the Wall box, which I believe drops April 6th. So that's Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and because of the spoilers being online already, we decided to, I guess, kind of get the jump and start the review a little bit early. So you guys already know Joe and you're familiar with Dan, but now we've got Dan number 2, aka Day, who's gonna intro himself real quick before we jump into the first card.
Really? You want me to talk about myself?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
Well,
Say
how
people
did
should give a shit about you.
yeah? How did Joe find you? Where were you? What happened here?
Oh, I was down and out when Joe found me. But he took me off the streets and he got me back on my feet again, and and now I'm 100% real talk when it comes to Game of Thrones cards.
And now he's transcended me. So
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's fair. No, me and Joe do some videos together. I spout my mouth off a lot. I have a lot of strong opinions about things that are basically a complete waste of my time, but very enjoyable. You know, and
isn't
if you
that
make
just
if you
life?
make enough noise, people listen, right?
I dig it, man. I dig it. All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump into the pack review. As you know, when it was just me and Joe, we talked for a long time. When it was me, Joe, and Dan, we talked for a pretty long time. Now there's 4 of us. We're going to talk for a good 2 hours probably. But we'll do our best. So we're going to cut this up into 2 parts. This is obviously part 1. Today, our goal is to get over the Night's Watch cards that are in the box. So I believe that is the first 25 cards. And then we will probably cut it and release part 2 at a later date. So we're gonna jump in. I will start first, and the order on screen will be myself, then Joe, then Day, and then finally Dan. Sorry, myself, Joe, Daniel, and then Day. There we go. We'll do a nice little
Cool.
square.
Is that what we're doing? Hold on.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so we're doing a clock.
Yes, a
I guess
clock.
that makes
We're going
sense,
clockwise. We're going
right?
clockwise.
Seniority on the channel. That's how it goes.
There it
So
is.
the new recruit's got to be last.
Yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm happy being last. That's cool.
That
I
makes
can just
sense.
at the end of everything, I can just go, yeah, basically just agree with whatever those guys say.
All right, so we're
Point
into
is to
it.
have a different opinion, Dan.
We're
Oh,
into it.
mate,
We're
don't,
into it.
don't you worry about my opinions, man. I've got a lot of them, and I'm gonna be talking about them for the next 2 or 3 hours. So you just worry about your own opinions.
We hope that it won't take that long, but we will start now. So the first card in the pack,
Mate, I've got work in the morning. Man. That's crazy.
card number 1 is Jon Snow, 7 cost, military icon and intrigue, 6 strength. He is not loyal. He's a bastard, a steward, and a wildling. He has stealth. Reaction: after you win a challenge in which Jon Snow is participating, either stand each attacking wildling character or stand each defending Night's Watch character, limit once per phase. Joe?
So I think this is actually going to see more play in the Wildling deck than a Wall deck, in my opinion. I really like it, but in I'm just concerned because when I'm thinking about what is the worst case scenario with this card, it's a mid challenge nightmares could like basically ruin your entire game if in the right circumstances. I remember I was playing against a Martell Crossing deck a couple weeks ago, and they were doing the whole Red Viper everything combination. You know what I mean? Like I'm pot committing every single thing that I possibly can to get 15 power on the Red
Mhm.
Viper. So he did this huge power challenge or intrigue challenge or something. He just did this huge challenge. It was like 35 strength, and then I just like I chump defended it, and then nightmares Red Viper. He got basically nothing out of it because of one card that cost 1 gold.
Mhm.
And I see similar things happening to this guy. You know, you're like, I'm gonna attack with these 4 wildlings because they're just gonna stand after I win. Nightmares, they're all nil, and now your challenges are all fucked up. That's my biggest concern. And then obviously Milk. Milk
Mhm.
is gonna do the same thing, except it's not gonna fuck you over as much as Nightmares. But other than that, the stats are strong. 6 strength is great. 2 icons, stealth. I mean, it's there to be good, but I'm just worried about being blanked. Daniel. Dan?
A little while back, I actually used some Star Wars cards
Oh
to
no.
help me with my feelings on certain cards. And while I agree with a few of your points, I'm going to use my beautiful legendary IG88 here to say that it's as solid as a robot. Um, I, I,
Talking about Star Wars on this channel now.
of course.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ,
it's Drone Wars right now.
First
No,
card,
no, no.
segued already.
You know what? You look at the stats, you look at the cost. He's got the 2 icons, he's got the stealth. If you're overcommitting to the point where you're losing on a Nightmares, I think you're playing wrong. Nightmares exist. He is a milk magnet, I admit. But to me, this is one of the more versatile cards that we're getting out of this box for Night's Watch. He fits you right in the Wildling decks, in the attack decks, in the defense decks. I don't know. I need to play around with him before calling him bonkers. But cost for strength, for icons, for everything that he grants, I can see him being played in many decks to come for Night's Watch.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Day.
Yeah, go for it, man. I think he's great, and I'm actually gonna offer a more positive story than Joe's one, including the Viper. So we got a player in England. He's called James Nowitzki. You might know him from writing about cards with dull blue borders. But he's one of Shomar's favourites. He loves playing Martel. He's a very good Martel player, and I have regularly seen him in the cuts at tournaments in England with a Viper Crossing deck that regularly wins the game with strength 35 in trade challenges because he runs a card called Hand's Judgment. Any deck where you need your guy to do his thing, you need to run Hand's Judgment because you need to consider the fact that that Nightmares is the most popularly run event in the game, and it's one of the most powerful events in the game. And I look at this Jon Snow and I think this guy's amazing, and I want to put him in. I've built like crossing decks around this guy for the first time in Night's Watch. You know, he's wicked. He's the kind of card that enables entirely new builds that you couldn't do in Night's Watch before. There's 2 of those cards in this box. One is Ms. Maester Raymond, and the other is this guy. And yes, he has the one downside of maybe he'll get treachered, maybe he'll get Nightmares. Mm-hmm. So you run Hand's Judgment because if you're getting his effect off, you know, 1-2 turns, you've probably won that game, you know. So yeah, I think he's amazing. I think he's a builder's dream, this card as well, from a deck building perspective.
I'm not trying to say it's a bad card. I'm just saying it has a weakness that is abusable, and that was the only point I'm trying to make.
Definitely, 100%. But you just always have to think about that when you build, and if you want to put you've just got to put the event that cancels the event that cancels.
But that also makes for good card design, right? I mean, yeah, everybody'd like to have all the cards that are always great and have no weaknesses built into them, but what's the fun in that? I mean, exactly. And if that's what you wanted, you would have played Lannister in the first cycle. Yeah. That's not the game we're playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also just one more point. The reason I don't see it going well in wall decks is because people don't generally initiate challenges that they can't win. That's a general rule that I've noticed. I've played Shadow Tower and Thorin for months, almost a year. People don't initiate challenges that they can't win. So unless you have trickery, you're not winning those challenges. Now he'd work good in a builder deck because of Abandoned Stronghold, which we're going to get to. Mm-hmm. But generally, people will just look at the math and say like, oh, I can't win this challenge, so I'm not going to initiate it. I'll just do a 30 strength power challenge.
No, you wanna be using him aggressively. I think. I think also the fact he's hugely expensive and can't be reduced in any way apart from by your little stewards stops him from going into the wall deck as well.
Him being non-loyal pisses me off.
Yeah, that pisses me off as well, man.
It makes sense, but it just pisses me off.
So one quick question before we move to the next card. Somebody in the chat said that Night's Watch needs some damn renown. So I'm just wondering, do you think that having a card like this with the renown keyword on it, would that be overpowered? Just wondering.
Yep.
Yeah, if they put renown on this, it'd be
fucking super OP.
I'm this guy with this ability for sure. Yeah.
I'm just saying we can all. Okay, good. I mean, he didn't say specifically that he wants it on this card, but just overall, he believes that Night's Watch should have more renown in it, but I'm just wondering with this card specifically. Anyways,
Fine line for now, man. And Night's Watch, it's a very delicate balance between the aggro decks and the wall decks, and you start giving people in the wall deck renown, and then you know,
I
it's just
agree.
not cool.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next card, which is Bowen Marsh, and that is Joe.
All right, Bowen Marsh. Let me pull this bad boy up here.
Oh yeah, whip out your Bowen. You're gonna be burning his head for a bit.
So Bowen Marsh, he is a unique, loyal character. 6 cost, intrigue and power icons, 4 strength, lord and a steward. During intrigue challenges, each steward character you control gains insight, and +1 reserve on top of that. Daniel.
A lot of the stuff that some of the non-wall defense decks were looking for, I guess. Good character. I don't know. I'm not hugely inspired by him. Cost for strength versus icons, again, is good. Lord is not a trait Night's Watch was looking at much recently. Steward is interesting. I don't know. More draw out of a faction that draws gives us options. Deck building for sure. But like I say, I don't know if I want to bring back the ni chaud ni froid. I'm probably a little higher up on him, but I'm not excited. He's good.
What do you think,
Me?
Bay?
Yeah, I think he's great, but I just don't see him as ever being more than a one-of. I don't know, you know. Just don't think you ever need more than one of this guy. If you see him, great. You're like, wicked. I've got a super steward with all 3 icons. You know, potentially of a practice blade. I could probably get some pretty janky combos off with Satin and Sworn to the Watch and shit like that. There's definitely some awesome intrigue, super card draw jank out there with this card. But yeah, I don't know. He's just. First of all, he's not strong enough to run at ×3. 6 gold, 4 strength. It's not good enough. You can get Dracarys off the board, and then you've lost your really expensive guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's great. He's a really, really good card. I love the fact that he's synergistic with himself as well. If that's a thing, the
No,
+1
Joe
reserve.
told me you can't have synergy with
I-
yourself.
We've had this discussion. You can't synergize with your fucking self.
What's he called? What's he called then? He's
He
well
works
designed.
well. He's well designed, yes.
He's
He
well
works with
designed. There you
himself.
go. He's a well-designed card. I like the flavor. I like the flavor text as well. While we're at it,
Yeah.
But I just don't see him as ever being more than a one. That's my only critique of it.
To piggyback with that, I think the same thing. Like Daniel said, this card is one that's kind of underwhelming. Doesn't really make you excited in any way that you're like ready to toss it into decks. I mean, I'm sure he has his uses and the insight is nice, but the cost is pretty high. I still think that there's a ton of other options that you'd play over this guy. And I agree. I would never go until something that comes out to, I don't know, make him more effective or, an amazing card comes out. I don't see anyone playing more than a single copy.
Yeah.
Being a single copy is a good thing, though.
Yeah, that's still good.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
Making a deck means you're a good card right now. Do you know, that's something I see a lot of people say. Like, it's only one. You only run one copy. It's like, yeah, but you're gonna always
so
run
good.
one copy. He's a really good guy. I mean, he's got everything you could ever possibly want out of a character. He can have like Bay said, he can have all 3 icons with a practice blade, which is awesome. And he's loyal, so you can reduce him a fealty. He's a steward. He's a lord if you're into that kind of stuff. He has.
You're into the Lord.
He has that additional reserve, which reserve is a big deal in Night's Watch. You have, you have.
I love that
Watch
it is a big deal as well.
You have East Watch by the Sea. You have Night Gathers. You have Fist of the First Man. Even though that card's terrible. For the Watch, you have all these cards, and they're only going to produce more. So that +1 reserve is great. That's why Core Sam is so great too. And then insight on every steward during intrigue challenges. Come on.
No, but I understand that. All I'm saying is, there are going to be a lot of times where you draw him and you have a handful of other cards, and you're going to choose those other cards over him. And so, I mean, yeah, the fact that he's a one of makes him good because you want to include him. However, in including him, how often is he actually going to hit the table because of how expensive he is and the fact that you have so many other options. That's all that I'm saying.
You don't build a deck around him, but he's just a nice little. You just slot him right in there. Slot him right
Yeah, I think you play this guy when your hand's dead. Maybe you've got like a couple of cards in your hands, and he's one of them, and you're like, I need to draw some fucking cards. So I'll get this guy on the table. I'll get my stewards all going in. I'll do a sort of Roderick Cassell style big challenge and fill my hand up. You know, that's when I think you play him.
And then
Night's Watch is so much card draw at the minute anyway that, you know, you might not even need to play this guy at the minute.
And then might I add, I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, it's just more card draw. You have the new gift, you have the Messenger Ravens, you have Eastwatch by the Sea, you have this guy. It's all this card draw. You just, I hope you don't go to time because you're losing that tiebreaker.
But that's awesome. You don't need to input all that draw into your deck, right? You're making choices. And another thing this guy brings is the all famous power icon, which right now is pretty hot. In the meta that we're playing, that's what people are running. You're winning games through power, and it's also one of the only ways you can actually beat Baratheon eventually. So that power icon.
We agreed to not mention Baratheon.
Guess what? You're going to hear it a lot.
Nah, fair enough. We can all agree that he's a decent enough card. But I just think, you know, there are other cards in this box that do outshine him.
Yeah, he's good. He's just not exciting.
Okay. On to the next one.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a good one. Well, I just like it because it's Old Bear, but
same here. I'm actually sporting the beard.
So Old Bear Mormont or Mormont, depending where you're from.
Or Mormont, depending where you're from.
Oh yeah, true.
We're not doing that.
All right, so this is card number 3, so that means it is on to Daniel.
Yes, Old Bear Mormont is a 6-cost character, military and power icon. He's 5 strength. He is loyal to the Night's Watch, commander and lord as a trait. He has a reaction after you win a challenge in which Old Bear Mormont, I was going to French and English at the same time, is participating. Choose a non-unique character in the losing opponent's discard pile and put it into play under your control. Dave.
Well, I'll say this. He's a card you can build around endlessly. He's a centerpiece for a deck, this guy, isn't he? I don't know, man. Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a card you build around. The Steel Stuff deck, you know, it's like before this guy, it's generally just based around. I mean, me and Dydra built the Night Gathers deck that got top 32 on Starlek, you know. And the original concept for that was one of my own, where I was like, shit, Ocean Roads, they're wicked, and they work with Night Gathers. So that whole Steel Stuff deck worked with just sort of. It's kind of janky in a way, really. It's just sort of events and locations and stuff. But now you've got this central totem for the deck to revolve around, and yeah, I think he's really cool. I don't think he's quite the sort of crazy broken character people sort of made him out to be when he was spoiled. Yeah, I think that Queen's Crown location definitely makes him better than I originally thought he was. But I still don't think, even with that, he's that great, because I've played a lot with Corrin, and I know that non-uniques targeting restriction, and it's rough, man. You know, it's a lot of cards you basically can't kill with Corrin. Corrin's great for removing a Chud to give you a military claim bite, but he's not going to take out anyone big with his ability. Rarely, you know. And I sort of see a similar problem with this guy. You know, a lot of the cards that we hit in the discard pile, they'll be unique characters. And yeah, I just wonder how often you're going to be getting something good or even claim soak off of that ability. I mean, yeah. What do you think, Joe? Running out
Are we
of steam
skipping
there.
Shamar?
I get skipped?
Sorry, man.
No,
You're actually to the left of my screen, Jay.
after
Same
seeing
somewhere else.
You're looking at the Skype screen. We're talking about the YouTube
yeah,
screen.
the YouTube screen, that's all that
No,
matters.
I'm not on YouTube, right? That's why. Sorry.
After seeing the
Sorry,
Queen's
Jay,
Crown,
are you then?
after seeing the Queen's Crown, which we're gonna look at a little bit later, I guess my first impression of seeing this card when it was spoiled, I kind of was in the camp of, yeah, whatever, like it's a cool card, I guess. And
You didn't panic?
I didn't really panic, no, because I
Huh.
saw the non-unique restriction on it, and I figured the same thing that they just said. Most times it's the unique cards that are going to hit the discard pile, not the non-unique ones, because the non-unique ones are going to get claim soaked and be in the dead pile, whatever have you. There's various reasons why. But then after this morning being woken up by Joe's picture message of Queen's Crown, which we'll see later, then I kind of had some problems.
First woke up, Joe.
That was
Yeah, he
That was
woke up the whole household here also.
the worst
ding,
message.
Ding, ding.
Oh my god. So anyways,
Wake up! Wake up! It's Christmas.
it was pretty brutal. So now I think that this card becomes, as you said, much, much better because you are actively choosing characters to hit the discard pile. And a lot of the times those characters are going to be non-unique as well, because I don't think, depending on the unique that you hit, so say you draw 3 cards on the top of the deck and you've got a shitty unique, you've got a pretty good non-unique, and another card, you might choose a non-unique over the shitty unique character. And we know that there's tons of decent or very powerful non-unique characters that exist in the game. So if you're able to get one of those onto your side of the board just for winning a challenge, you don't even have to worry about paying for it, then that could be a problem. However, that is very situational. How many times is it going to happen in a game? We don't know. It's probably not going to happen more than once or twice. But those 1 or 2 times can, be very, very annoying for a player who's struggling to push challenges past a very well set up Night's Watch player. And that's just the issue that I see myself playing Greyjoy against Night's Watch all the time. It's very, very difficult to sneak things through when they have every freaking icon and 7 copies of every icon on the board, and now they're stealing your own characters to do that as well. So I think that this card, when you build around it, is going to be one that is very, very playable.
I don't want to call it a bad card because people get super triggered when you say something's a bad card.
So triggered, bro.
It's not bad.
But
It's not when you say, it's when
Trigger
Joe from
warning.
Cincinnati says
Yeah,
something is a bad card. Then the internet goes.
People don't appreciate when I have an opinion, but
Shut
I
up,
think
Joe.
it's.
Just
I think-
shut your mouth.
Generally speaking, this is a pretty bad card. I'm not gonna say it's the worst card. I'm not gonna even say that it's a non-include card. You're gonna play this card in a certain deck. It's gonna be one deck. It's gonna be one single deck that you run this card in,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be the Night Gather's deck.
Mhm.
And he's not gonna be the centerpiece of that deck.
Mm-mm.
Now My Watch Begins is gonna be the centerpiece. Queen's Crown is gonna be the centerpiece. Night Gathers is gonna be the centerpiece. He's just gonna be kind of like, let's see if you got any. Let's see if you got a chud in there. You don't? Okay. And then he doesn't do anything this round. Okay.
He's like the
Next
he's
turn.
like the raccoon of the deck.
Right.
The lowest
It's like-
sort of scavenger on the food chain.
The next turn, you're like, let's see, do you have any non-uniques? Still no non-uniques. Okay, well, shit. What am? Okay, I don't get anything out of this reaction again. Like they said, I've played Corrin a lot, and Corrin, the number of times I've not been able to kill something is annoying as fuck. It is legitimately annoying because like you'll play against Stark. What do they have? A Tumblestone Knight or 2 and the Reducers. That's basically it. They have their wolves. They have Bran, Arya, Sansa, and if they have non-uniques, they're not in a rush to play them. Especially if you have Old Bear, you're just like pass on that. I'll just keep this in my hand. In addition, you have Tyrell, Targaryen. Where are you getting your non-uniques? Basically, it's Night's Watch killer, right? This is gonna fuck Night's Watch up.
Yeah.
Really hurt the wall. The wall deck's gonna see this guy and go like, oh, I hate him. Oh,
it's also okay. It's pretty good against Greyjoy. Shayma's gonna love that. And it's not bad against Baratheon, but
I was gonna say Baratheon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Baratheon has a bunch of little chuds to trigger Melisandre, but nothing that you're excited about. I mean, maybe the Fickle Bannerman.
I don't know,
He's
man.
gonna lose in the next turn anyway.
The City Watch, the highly coveted City Watch.
What's the City Watch doing in your discard pile? Why is it
Get
there?
this guy's crown.
Basically, Queen's Crown, right? So,
Yeah.
Queen's Crown makes him playable, but he's not good.
Mhm.
He's good because he's playable because of Queen's Crown, and I might be wrong. Maybe maybe I'm totally wrong, but I
I
don't
actually
think
agree with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you, Joe. I completely agree with you. Everything you just said.
watch.
He's
Watch.
great.
Someone's gonna win a challenge.
Useless.
Somebody's gonna win a tournament and be like, "Yeah, fuck you, Joe from Cincinnati." Be like,
You're full of shit, Joe.
Hey, if they pull King Renly's host or whatever the hell it's called, that massive army, then
It's
you know
unique.
it's a big
Unique
thing. Is it
character.
unique?
Unique, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, never
It's
mind.
just with-
All right, pause.
Yeah.
I mean, the
It's a
card's
very
not bad
unique-
though. The stats on it are pretty good. 5 strength with the military and power
6 for
icon,
5 no keywords. That's inspiring.
but it's also loyal, so you know you
That's
can do
it,
some
though. When you
things.
take away his ability, he is an inefficient Bicon, and
He's inefficient,
and
but
most-
you can get him out for cheaper. You can get him out
And
for
he has
for
no
3.
traits that I give a shit about. He's not a builder. He's not a ranger. He's not a steward. He's nothing. He's a nothing.
You can still get him out for 3 if you
Unless
really
you have
wanted to.
ununique.
how did you use the strength in this in his core set version as well? What happened to that strength, man?
He's gonna rely entirely on the Queen's Crown.
Mhm.
If you don't
Well-
ununiques, sorry, you just wasted 6 gold on this stupid motherfucker.
But hey, we all thought the mountain was gonna suck too, and he doesn't. So you never know what could happen down the road.
But there's a huge
Back on it?
difference between
Oh yeah,
there's
there
a
is
difference
for
between
sure.
the mountain and this guy. This guy's a facilitator. He fits in one deck. He does it well. That's it. It's either your type of deck or not. There are some games where you're going to face that deck and you're just going to be, fuck, and it's going to annoy the crap out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other times where it won't matter. It's not a bad card. It's
Especially
an
if you're
interesting
playing-
design because there's already another old bear, so luckily it's a different version. It's a build around or a facilitator for another deck, and that's it.
I just like that it adds to the existing deck, and it's just a little different flavor.
Yeah,
For you.
this is a lot. This is a lot more that this deck is getting than the actual choke deck. So
All right, sweet. On to the next one, Cotter Pike.
Cotter.
Here he is. Here's our boy.
just for you, Shomar, he's got the right traits, right?
That's
No.
you, Bay.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm
Wow.
introducing this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Cotter Pike. He's a
Cotter.
non-loyal 5 gold character with 5 strength, military intrigue, stealth, and his reaction reads: after Cotter Pike bypasses a character using stealth, if there's a winter plot card revealed, choose a Night's Watch character and have gain stealth until the end of the phase. So, Shomar, drive us out.
All I'm gonna
Shaman.
say is he is Ironborn, but I would never ever ban it with the Night's Watch. So that's all I care about.
You
this
played Night's Watch for like 3 months.
guy.
You're
No, I
such a
did.
hypocrite.
No, I did, and I had fun, and I still do enjoy playing Night's Watch. It's not like I hate them or anything.
Oh, really?
I just, some of the cards that come out bother me. Anyways, so Cotter Pike, he's Ironborn, and when I saw that, I thought like it would be cool to try to go back to the whole like Greyjoy Night's Watch thing, but he really doesn't have anything that adds to, you know, what I'm doing with Greyjoy right now. Plus, his ability only works on another Night's Watch character. So from that perspective, I don't really care about him much. So I'll let you guys get into the whole Night's Watch discussion and his real, true applications.
Actually, I mean, I did the card game DB review this time around, and I think this might be my shortest entry, because he's boring. He's really boring. I mean, he's just he's a stupid Bicon with no relevant traits,
Nope.
stealth, and a reaction that's, you know, based on your plot choice and based on other characters on your deck. You know, okay, I play him if you want to attack stuff.
Yeah.
I hate to be that
Wow.
guy, but it's a card.
You don't hate to be that guy. You love being that guy.
He loves
love
being
being-
that guy. Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah. I mean, cost for strength is interesting, but winter plots. How many winter plots do you actually play in a deck? Even if you're playing Kings of Winter, 3.
Like 4.
I mean, 4 maybe if you're going all in on that theme. So, okay.
Yes, it's pretty lackluster.
I mean, sure, there's certain decks where he'll fit, and there may be the odd game where you get something awesome out of him, but
I wouldn't call him lackluster. I just think he's boring.
Yeah, he's definitely good. He's just not. It's just like a good card that you put in your deck, you know.
Offensively, right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not putting this in many wall decks. I mean, you might want it for like defense, purposes of stealth or
You
something
probably
like
could
that.
put him in a wall deck, yeah, just for that reason you mentioned there. And
Yeah,
there's a
he's-
couple of other characters that want to milk in that deck before this guy.
Yeah. But
and
I've
he's
definitely
protecting 2 icons, so
I've gotten to the point where I kind of really care about the traits when I'm building a wall deck right now. You know, if I'm building a deck, like right now, I'm really into the builder deck, and if it doesn't have builder, I'm like strike 1 card. What's gonna be strike 2?
That's a lot of cards getting strikes there, Joe. A lot of cards that aren't builders. I am going to say this about the guy. 2 points. Firstly, he's got an intrigue icon, high strength and stealth, and that's great. That does a lot of work for him. I mean, if he didn't have that intrigue icon and stealth together, I probably wouldn't look twice at this guy.
So if
But
he
that's
wasn't the
really
card that he is, you wouldn't look at this card. twice.
Basically, yes, Joe. I couldn't have said it any
Yeah.
better.
If this card was a different card, I wouldn't consider it.
He's also he's actually one of the better targets for Sworn to the Watch in faction as well, because Jeremy Rice.
And then he has the traits.
Power icon. Then he's got the traits as well.
Yeah, he actually has something that I want. It's nice.
There you go. You can become a steward, become a ranger.
And a
Well,
range,
interesting
yeah.
stuff.
And then if you have
Yeah.
Jeremy Riker out, he becomes a builder. And he's like, why the
And a
fuck are you making me do all
skeleton
this
More
stuff?
importantly. Yeah, no. He's
I'm a
very
commander,
boring.
damn you.
No way.
Fair enough.
Excellent.
So next on to the new Maester Aemon. His art just makes him look gross. So
Aw.
Maester Aemon, I believe that's me. 5 cost character with an intrigue icon, 4 strength, obviously unique, and he is loyal to the Night's Watch. He's a Maester and a Steward. No attachments this time except items. Interrupt. When the challenge phase ends, choose an opponent and a challenge type that has not been initiated against you this phase. That player must satisfy the claim of that challenge type as if you were the winning opponent. That's lovely. Joe?
Oh man. Oh, this guy's so exciting. Oh man. Okay, so.
Oh boy, oh boy.
oh boy, man. Okay. I'm not gonna
Oh,
play it in a
boy.
wall deck.
Okay.
I'll just get that out of the way right now. It's not. I'm not gonna play this in a wall deck. You might try it, but then you're gonna take it out and be like, why'd I do this?
Mhm.
So you put it in like. So I've been talking to Bay and we've come up with just a general idea. We haven't actually built anything around it. No, he might have because he builds decks like all day, every day. But
I've had
if
to
you
give that a rest recently.
you're like, I got a
Okay.
job and I can't do that anymore.
I know. I'm like 3 decks behind myself right now. It's a nightmare.
Shame. So what I was thinking was something along the lines of, you bring in Martel icon removal, you bring in Bridge of Skulls, you bring in Retaliation, you bring in Thorin, you bring in Corrin, and a bunch of 2-claim plots. Like I said, Retaliation is a great 2-claim plot that's in this deluxe box. And then you're just like, hey, do 3 challenges. Unless you can win all of them, I get power from Thorin.
Mhm.
If you don't do any of them, I'll make you take it at a 2-claim. In addition to me doing something to you, because if I'm doing Retaliation, I'm probably going second. So then I'll do a 2-claim to you, and then give you your own 2-claim, right? And then if you don't do a military attack, Bridge of Skulls makes you discard a card in addition to me doing 2-claim military to you. And then if you do a military attack, I get Thorin. If you try and win it, I'll just kill you with Watcher on the Walls. It's like this really great. I'm really excited about this deck. I don't know if it's gonna be like good,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be fun as fuck. And the Martel stuff just to
I've
remove
made
your
it.
icons.
That's what I was going to say. I've made it, and it is good, but it has a couple of Achilles, basically. Namely, a Bernie red faction, but carry on.
Don't ruin his excitement. Let him have
Sorry, carry on. You carry
Yeah,
on.
so-
I'm really enjoying this.
and then the Martel icon tech, just so that if they only have 1 power icon, you take it and they're fucked. And then if they only have 1 intrigue icon, you take it and they're fucked, etc. In my mind, people have been bitching about passive decks for so long. I think this is the perfect answer to passive decks. Like, if you don't like the wall deck players passing their 3 challenges, play this card. Then you get to choose an additional challenge that you will automatically win. So
It's cool.
yeah, stop bitching. Daniel.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Passive power. One of the answers to passive power is either being aggressive and or 2-claim. So, I find that he does give a different deck to Night's Watch and something interesting. I'm also like to point out it was passed over real quick, but I mean we did talk about it. But this is the first card we actually get that has no attachments except something out of this, which was very clutch or representative of most of the Night's Watch cards that we have so far and that see a lot of play. Not too many items that we're actually really afraid of, except for maybe the Crown of Gold. So, I mean, there's the fishing net also, but
Fishing net.
He's gonna get his burnt ass toasted.
yeah, for sure. I mean, as soon as there's a crown, but I mean, besides that, I don't know if there's anything else coming up. I do find thematically that it's interesting that we finally have an Aemon that can have a Maester's Chain, although I don't think it go that direction. But I always thought that there was something weird about that whole thematic where one of the better Maesters couldn't take the chain. No, he's interesting. He's a different. He fits in a different deck. He's one of the power cards out of this box for Night's Watch that will shake up this meta that people are complaining about and are a little tired of. And you know what? These types of new cards is good for the game. So, yeah, I give it 2 thumbs up.
Bay.
Awesome. Nicely said there, Dan. Yeah, I think he's...
that's a polite way of laughing at me or something like that.
Good
Nicely
positive
said.
spin there.
Way to go, kid.
Yeah,
way to
good
go. You
positive
tried your
spin.
best.
Bringing some real energy. Yeah, I think he's fantastic. As I said, he's one of the 3 cards in this box that create a new sort of deck archetype with the Night's Watch. That retaliation build, and the Watch have got all kinds of tools to help this guy go off. We've got some. I kind of don't even want to say what they are because I sort of want to let people find out and handhold them to my awesome ideas I've already had.
So
why did
I'm
we bring
intending to win.
So why did we bring you on so that you don't share your ideas?
No. All right, mate. I take it off. Okay, an obvious one is obviously he's got great synergy with Craven. One way to stop them from doing a challenge against you is to make sure they can't actually do it in the first place.
Oh my god.
Stuff like that.
For sure.
I had a deck I was playing Store Championship season in December last year, and it was a Night's Watch Sun deck, which was basically it centered around the idea of stopping people from doing what they want to do and just controlling the whole board.
How did you do that in tournament, Dan?
I went 1 and 4 in one tournament, 0 and 3 with the other.
At least you got
And
one.
do you know why? Do you know why that happened? Do you know what that deck was missing? It was missing a fucking win condition. It was missing a card that allowed it to win. It controlled the board all day long, and all my games went to time. All of them ended around each person having either middling power or I had a lot of mod wins and mod losses basically. And it was missing this guy. This guy, which is like, once I've shut down your entire board and you can't do anything, I just literally sit there and win the game. And he's awesome, he's fucking brilliant for that reason. There's a few weaknesses there. The fact you can Crown of Gold him, and he's like absolute Jakara's bait, and he's never going to get anything on him to increase his strength out of that range either. He's not like you can put a practice blade on him. He's probably not going in the wall deck, as you said. He doesn't get boosted by Fist of the First Men.
Just holder him every turn.
Just Halder, but Halder's like the best one of you can ever see these days. When you see Halder, you're just like, yes, I'm so glad I drew my 1 copy of Halder. It's the card you wish you could run at 3, but there's just not enough room.
And then exactly. And then you put 2 or 3 copies in your deck, and you're like, damn, fucking wrong time for getting Halder. Yeah, you want him as a one of, and then you get that super hype.
I'm relatively certain Tomas is still running him at 3 copies. So.
I
Tomas
think
is
he
a
might
machine.
be. I watched Tomas play live in Battalion, and it was like watching a robot, man. He's
old school.
next level.
But he's the exception to the rule, right? He's
the exception to basically every rule. Which is why he's so great.
He's a fucking amazing player, man. There's no doubt about that. But anyway, on with the Thomas fan club, and who's next after me? Who's next in the circle? I'm the last. There you go.
It's Shomar.
I think you guys covered it all. I mean, I think that this is a very nice card. Like Daniel said, I'm excited because it encourages people to try new things with the faction, and all the ideas that were just busted out by you guys are all very applicable, and I think are all viable as well. So that the idea that Joe said you know, it's going to be a fun deck, and I think it's one that is going to surprise, well, probably not surprise as many people now, but one that's going to be able to win games and be able to win games handily. Because if you go back to just the first time that I played against Joe, the confusion that I felt when he was just beating me without doing anything, and I was like, what's the point of me making a challenge if I'm just gonna get bodied? And then playing a whole bunch of the core and half hand decks where I'm like, I don't even want to do this challenge because I can't win it, and you know, there's no point, blah blah. Now there are even more consequences to that, so I think that is really cool, and I'm excited to see it get played.
Night's Watch's goal is to make you hate your life as much as possible in the 60 minutes that you're playing
Yeah.
against it.
That's
Hey,
it.
It's got to be a good card if Joe's actually willing to play something different than a wall defense deck.
Hey, that's
That's got to
big.
be a good Night's
I
Watch
remain
card.
dubious to see if that actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, this is all
Dan-
theoretical.
Bay and I have had so many conversations about decks that we should play, and I still just keep playing the same deck.
It's just like, mate, give it a rest, man.
So we'll move to the next one. I can't remember which cards it was where it starts that Thrones DB does not actually have the images up, so my apologies for that, but as usual, we'll
Not this
continue
one.
to read them. So the next one is Grizzled Miner, and that is Joe.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
That's such a boring.
No, Jay just got Eamon,
Yeah,
didn't he?
we can fly over this one because it's already been
No,
spoiled.
show marches that they.
This one's nice and simple.
Okay.
Grizzled Miner, non-unique, non-loyal, 5 cost, power icon, 4 strength. No attachments except weapon, and he's a builder. Reduce the cost of Martial Grizzled Miner by 1 for each Night's Watch attachment and the location you control to a minimum of 1.
He'll always be one. Nice. Next card.
Let's just run through this. Make this a quick one. I know you have
to.
off doing something, Shamar.
No,
You
I'm
always-
good. I'm good. Dan, what do
Okay,
you
so
think?
I'm first. I'm going to go real quick at this. This is a card that Night's Watch would have played in first cycle, and then Night's Watch got the best cards out of second cycle.
Mhm.
Bye. Next.
Hey, yeah.
That's my opinion.
Well, basically, the great thing about this card, yeah, is he's got a power icon, and with every builder you have, he gets cheaper by 1 gold. So you can marshal him for not very much if you've got lots of builders on the table.
No attachments and locations. No builders. Or buildings, did you say?
No.
Sorry, yeah, totally wrong thing.
I'm a little high right now. So sorry about that.
He's looking at a completely different
No,
card.
no,
No.
Well, his eyes aren't even open right now, are they?
Yeah, he's okay. He's boring. He's good. You're going to have a lot of Night's Watch locations out in a wall deck. You know, if you get your Haunted Forest and your Abandoned Strongholds out and your Castle Blacks, he gets cheap, and then you play him. You know, next card.
Yeah.
No one mentioned First Snow of Winter. I think that's a big deal. It's immune to First Snow of Winter, but costs super cheap most of the time. So you're going to have 2 or 3 locations and attachments out. He's going to cost 2 gold, but he sticks around for First Snow of Winter. I think that's huge. Not many people play it anymore, but Day, he just won a store championship with a deck that runs First fucking Snow of Winter.
There you
And
go.
I almost made him hand his Night's Watch card, but I felt pity on him. So, but you know, it gets cheaper. It's nice. It's cool. It's gonna go in the builder deck. It's just going to. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Um,
In the builder deck.
Yeah, in the builder deck, it's gonna, and the builder
Okay,
deck's gonna be good. You can't just
Yeah,
ignore it because it's the builder, because that's gonna be a fucking good deck. It's gonna be a really, really good deck. But he's good. He's like a veteran builder, but cheaper and doesn't get bounced, and he doesn't have the pressure of being sacrificed. So, next, it's a good card, but nothing exciting.
Right. Just quick question though.
It's a building block.
Because of how tight the deck is currently, would you actually be tossing cards out to really fit this guy in? Like, do you think he's that crucial to fit in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put him as a 1. I think
For their builder deck.
In the builder deck, he's
Yeah.
maybe 2, maybe 2. I'd say.
Okay.
He's good.
Okay.
He's really good.
Sweet. On to
Well,
the next one.
With
right?
the wall, he's 5 strength power. That's fucking awesome. For like 1 or 2 gold, it's ridiculous.
But you have other power icons that are just as strong. I don't know. You're right. I mean, the reduction. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but I'm not excited. I'm not excited
he goes in the builder deck to some number.
He goes in the builder
Yes.
deck.
to the builder deck. But for anything else, I don't know.
No, he's
Yeah.
not going to go in anything else. He's going in the builder deck.
Okay. I thought I
Alright.
was stupid for a second.
So the
I'm
next
next.
card is up. That is you, Daniel.
More beard power.
More beard power.
Sir, Yeah, Sir Dennis
God, this guy's
Malister.
ugly.
Yeah, are you talking about me? You're talking about me.
Hey.
He
I'll leave
is
that ambiguous.
4 cost. He's got military and power. 4 strength. He is unique, non-loyal, commander, and knight as a trait. His text is simple. While Sir Dennis Malister is defending, he gains renown. And you were saying that on the chats we were asked about more renown for Night's Watch?
Here's
More
Night's
renown
Watch
for Night's
defense deck really needs more renown, right? This is exactly what we wanted.
I agree.
Date?
Yeah, he's okay. He's probably one of the cards I ranked lowest in this box when I was doing the card game DB review.
Foolish.
No, I mean, he's on paper. There's nothing wrong with him. He's cost efficient. He has renown on defense, but he's at the same price slot as a ranging party, and the ranging parties are better. You'll run him as a ×1 in a few Night's Watch decks, and I think the best use for him actually is trying to bait out a Milk of the Poppy onto him. So that it avoids Benjen or Craster or Bear or someone you don't want it on instead.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, he's good as long as he's not milked, and when he gets milked, he's still a 4/4 Bicon, and I think that's all I really need to say on him.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Just
He's a-
good, efficient card.
He's a
isn't he?
4/4. He's good. If you pair him with the new Aemon, now people have even more reason not to do challenges against you because they don't want to feed you renown. But then, now they get to pop Aemon off on you. So it kind of puts you in a little bit of a dilemma, being the attacking player against somebody that has Dennis Malister out on their board. So the 4/4 with Bicon, I mean, I think it's good. I'm really hoping that one of you guys come up with a commander deck because we've been seeing a lot of commanders now. So hopefully
Nobody
that's
gives a fuck about commanders.
a thing. But it probably won't be. But I mean, yeah, I like how he pairs with the new Aemon and kind of adds a new decision point for people that are trying to attack the Night's Watch. So yeah, he's not the best card, and I mean, he might not see the most use, but I think that even without Aemon, he's going to cause people to make some mistakes on offense.
You know who else he pairs well with?
No.
That's a question. Okay.
In line.
We also just stayed silent for the next 2 hours.
Abandoned Stronghold. Another card for the builder deck. Because, I mean, when are you going to attack if I have 2 Abandoned Strongholds and, 3 or 4 builders out? I'm just going to give this guy +8 strength, and he's going to win whatever challenge he defends with, and he's going to get renown. I mean, prior to this box, a lot of times, like I said, people will just count up your strength. Just like, I'll do 1 challenge against this part, this 1 icon that you can't stop, and then my challenges are over. That's something that everyone does. But once Abandoned Stronghold comes out and you have a bunch of builders, they're like, I can't win a single challenge because whatever challenge I do, you're going to pump it by fucking 8 or 9 strength. And I'm going to be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about this? And that's where defensive renown really shines. That's where Thorn's going to shine. That's where Corrin's going to shine. That's where Malister's going to shine. He's not going to be more than 1 copy because why would you run more than 1 copy than this guy? You have ranging parties that are just better in every way, except for the renown. But in the builder deck, he's definitely good. In a typical deck that's not the builder deck, he's all right. He still probably makes it as a 1x, just because it's cool. It's a 4/4.
Yeah.
It's a Knight. It's a Knight of the Sun.
Decks.
No, it's a Knight of the Sun that you always have the renown as long as you're defending. And when does Night's Watch care about attacking? The only thing you got to watch out for is Ward. That's it. So.
Sweet. And that's it, right? No?
No, I'm next. I just read the
sorry.
card.
Sorry.
That's okay. I mean, what am I here for? I'm just here so you get subsidy because you hired a French guy, right?
Exactly.
We have
Trying to round it out.
Government subsidy because you're making.
we have a Brit and a Jamaican. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah,
then-
this is like international friendly knitting circle gossip right here.
This is very progressive Thrones right now.
I've been
You know
crocheting since I
what?
got down.
If I'm not mistaken, because it's been a while, but and I consume way too much Thrones, and I listen to way too many people doing stuff and their opinions. When Thorin came out, people weren't too hot on him. Most people, right? And
Yeah, it's
he's
because
been in and
they're
out
not
of a
good
lot
at
of
this.
decks. No, exactly, and or they're not playing the deck. It's one thing to rate cards when you're not playing the deck. Yes, Thorn very often drops to the one of, but that solid one of that we mentioned before has, for my games anyways, has actually either won me games or put pressure on to my opponent, not wanting to do those challenges. This is just more the same, and redundancy sometimes, especially for defense decks. I mean, you're making it a lot more consistent, and he's got two icons. I don't know. To me, I'm not saying that this card is bonkers, it's broken, but everybody's saying that renown in Night's Watch is something that's tricky. It is conditional renown, but it's on a good body with two icons. Yeah, this is a solid card.
Yeah, it is. I agree. And for that, all those reasons you just said, I do think he will attract Milk with the Poppy as well. And yeah, like I said,
Yeah, for
I would
sure.
rather
Milk,
going on him and
nightmares.
Caster.
There you go. Agreed.
And fishing nets when they come back into play.
Yeah, definitely those fishing nets, man. You gotta watch out for them.
Yeah, fishing nets.
One of those days.
They're all over the place.
They're all over the place right now, man. Watch out,
Fucking
guys.
fishing nets, man. Because Greyjoy is definitely still trying to do that stupid fucking unopposed shit.
Yeah, the thing that we're supposed to be good at is we can't do it because they just ruined the game. Sweet, man.
That's why-
Anyways,
That's it.
They fixed the game.
next
That's why
card.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy you'll put your fishing net on my Aemon first, and then I'll play this guy. And it's stuck there.
Oh, Thrones, how I love thee. So next card is Sir Jeremy Riker, and that is Day that's introducing that one.
Dang.
Okay, so Jeremy Riker is a non-loyal Night's Watch character, costs 4, strength 3, with military and power icons. He's got the Knight and Ranger traits, the all-important no attachments except weapon keywords, and each other Ranger character you control gets a power icon. Whew, spicy. Shoma, tell us about this guy.
Shema.
Yeah, I mean he's all right. It's cool. You guys would know more than me because I don't really do the whole Night's Watch thing too much anymore. But I could see definitely, some uses for him. I just feel like at this point, why even bother, going all in on this guy or even trying to throw him in unless
What?
like I'm just
What?
here's the thing. Look, wait. I'm always trying to look for new things, right? And ways to expand the game. So like I said, the commander deck would be cool. He's a knight/ranger, so it'd be cool if people tried to do the knight thing and give them renown with, the plot that gives all knights renown and do things like that to spice up Night's Watch a little bit. It's never gonna happen, I know, and I'm always the one that's hoping for these things, these changes in the game that give Greyjoy a chance to come back. But
If the wall was restricted, would you be happy?
if the wall was restricted, would I be happy? If the wall was loyal and restricted, yes, that'd be fantastic.
Remind me of Slappy at Gen Con.
I don't know. It's whatever, man. He's a Knight Ranger, 4 for 3. He gives all the other Rangers power
Knight
icons. So
Ranger.
now we can't, steal them with Martell shenanigans because they're gonna double up on them. It makes other cards even more annoying than they already were before. What more can I say?
I already know what Bay is gonna say, so I'll leave that to him, because he's all about it.
You know what I'm going to say.
Why do
I
you
know
love
ex-
this card? Let me know why you
I
love
know
this card.
exactly what you're gonna say. I bet I could say it word for word, but I'll let you do
You
that.
think-
I want to hear the reasons why this card gets love because I to me it just seems pretty redundant. Like
I think Thorin is great with this card because his biggest weakness was lack of power icon. Like he was a monocon with the worst icon for the Night's Watch, was the military, which is we had tons of those things. Giving him a power icon makes him so much better. Same with the old Forest Hunters, makes them bicons. That's their biggest weakness. Same with pretty much every ranger that only
here's
has
the thing.
has a
Here's the
military
thing.
icon.
Here's the thing, and this is why I don't care about this card, is because Night's Watch already has every freaking icon in abundance. So who cares? Like to me, this is not going to change much really because I've never really run into a Night's Watch character that had a huge gaping hole in their defense because they've had everything.
Shamar,
right?
you should check your zipper because your bias is showing.
No, I'm being completely honest. How many times have you played against Night's Watch? How many times have you played against Night's Watch, or have you piloted Night's Watch and said, "Holy shit, I have this huge gaping hole in my defense, and I don't know if I can defend this challenge right now"? Has that ever happened? Let me know, please. Let me know, please.
Yes,
So,
yeah, it does happen.
And
It has
and
happened,
and the time that it has happened, where you're like, "Oh wait, I have this thing called a haunted forest, so who really cares?" Because it's one challenge that I'm going to be able to give up, and the game goes on.
That
The
card's
wall
bullshit.
gets me 2 power. Like,
Now,
who
now your
cares?
bitterness is showing.
No. This is complete honesty. It's who cares? Because you even said it in our last stream. You were like, before, there was one challenge that I could fuck up on. Now that the haunted forest exists, that gives me 2 opportunities to fuck up, or 2 opportunities to not have the right defense at that given time. So this card here doesn't really matter.
3 challenges that I don't give a fuck
So
about.
that's what I mean. So it's like, yeah, I'm sure this guy's great and he's gonna help other cards do all these fantastic things, but are you really going to, struggle to fit him in when you really don't have any issue?
He's an efficiency card. He makes the Lost Rangers good too.
That's what I was going to say.
It's not flashy. It's just an efficiency card.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm just pointing out what people are thinking but afraid to say because Joe might, chew their head off. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. All right. It's a great card. Yes, I understand.
There you go. That's better.
You get to help people and help all the other cards that don't have power icons. But who cares? Because there are so many other cards that do have power icons that are gonna make up for it. Just like the freaking the dude that we just saw. I forget his name already. The builder that comes in for a reduced cost for each attachment and location. He's a goddamn power icon. You have more than enough, so you don't even need to include this card. Is all I'm saying. That's it.
Oof.
That's it.
Yeah. He's not going to go in every deck, but he's going to go in some decks, and he's going to be cool in those decks.
But is he going to do anything more than the other 4 drops that you have already in the deck?
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
What he's going to do is he's going to give a shitload of characters power icons.
Yeah, who already have them. You're just doubling up on them.
No. Let's be careful. Okay, there are different ways of playing Night's Watch before this box dropped, and a lot of the stuff you're talking about is lower cost, right? Night's Watch defense tends to lower the cost, and that's how they have a lot of single icon characters. And yes, maybe you haven't been lucky, but there are these games where you're doubling up and tripling up on the same icons, and Rangers tend to bring a lot of the military icons. I like the Rangers a lot for the abilities and stuff they bring. That's why very often in Night's Watch, when a character has 2 icons, he tends to be maybe rated a little stronger as he'd be in another faction because that was one of their faction weakness. Mm-hmm. This brings stability. This gets rid of that weakness. It also gets rid of the weakness to First Snow, which if ever First Snow becomes a thing again, I mean, it's just making that deck or allowing people to build something different. You can actually bring that cost curve a little higher up, and you're granting power icons. And how do you win games?
Power.
I'm not saying that this card is broken. I'm not saying it's the best card, but it's a good card.
I'm not saying it's broken or the best either. And I'm saying that it's good. I agree that it's good. I'm just saying it's not really, a huge necessity because
I'm saying it's good. I'm just saying that it's a bad card.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'm saying it's good. I'm just saying it's not necessarily needed right now. Like you guys are
but the other
fine
thing
without
is
it.
we have to remember that this is an evergreen card, contrary to whenever we get chapter packs. So, anyways. That's all I have.
There are certain cards that it makes playable. There are certain cards that it makes fucking amazing. And then there's loads of janky things you can do with it, which are awesome. And that's what's Sworn to the Watch attachment that you can attach to any character. They can take it. They have a military icon. They now have a power icon as well. He's just like obscenely good, this guy. In fact, the only reason I didn't give him 5 out of 5 is because his strength to cost ratio is low. That's the only reason. Otherwise, this guy is a 5 out of 5 card. He's just fucking amazing.
I don't agree with that, but yeah, he's a good card.
He's amazing. He's
5 out of 5. He's going in every deck, right?
All of your cards that were good already, all of your military monicons that are all really good cards in their own right, and all did really cool things, are now icons. That's amazing.
So what do you take out for him? What do you take
the Rangers?
Oof, you just got to squeeze him in somehow.
I mean, I'm not saying that he's a 3 of either, right? But I mean, he's facilitating a lot of those.
He's definitely deck.
But I'm just wondering what you take out. What do you take out to put him in?
Maybe 2.
But we're saying that a lot of these cards are going to bring different decks. So if we start saying that for every card, you'll see that the list is very different. So yes, you're right. I mean, if we're talking of inserting, like you get a chapter pack, you insert him in a deck. What are you taking out? Oh, well then the challenge, and then you got to sit down, you got to start looking at it. But this facilitates different decks, different build, and all these rangers that you have right now that have these fantastic abilities and or will enable watchers on the wall and stuff like that are that much better when you have this guy in.
I'm just still wondering what would you take out for him? That's all I want to know.
I just think
Stuff.
in like the wall deck, in like the traditional wall deck, he's a one-off. In the builder deck, he doesn't go in. And in like
Fred-
aggro builds, like crossing builds with new Gren and Pip and shit like that,
Sure.
you want to consider him in 2s or 3s. And then
Sure.
any build where I put Spawn to the watch in, I'm gonna put him in 3. Just I want to see this guy. I want to see him on the board. I want to spread those powers from
Eventually, there's going to be a deck that'll run a shit ton of Rangers, and you're going to love this guy in that deck.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe.
And I'm going to be playing this guy in that deck.
I guess
Exactly.
part of the reason why I was saying that it's useless is because a lot of the Rangers are coming out in this box that have the single military icon. So, maybe my memory served me incorrectly. And I'm looking at it now. Grand Lost Ranger, Pip, etc. all are the singletons or monocons, whatever. So maybe he'll be useful with them, but even still, I just think that there are more than enough Ranger options already that have a power icon. Not to
Okay,
say
you-
that
you-
makes him bad. That's it.
You asked for an answer, and I'm just quickly looking at my list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, quickly. And if I'm switching card for card, one for one, I'm going to upgrade Waymar Royce for this guy.
Yeah.
Give him a
Yeah,
swing,
that's easy.
just to test it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but you were asking, you were
Yeah,
telling me you wanted an answer.
I'm just
That's
I was curious.
my
I was really
easy,
curious.
quick answer.
I forgot that
We've
Waymar.
spent way too much time on this.
No, I forgot
Yes.
where Waymar was card. Anyways,
Agreed.
we'll move on.
That's
So
no
Castle Black Mason with the
Is that
sweet
Dan?
art.
Is
That's
that
me.
Daniel? Who's that?
This is card number 9.
No, it can't be me.
So it'd be me.
that-
It's me.
I
It's me.
was Dennis. Then we had Day.
It's you,
It's me.
Shemo.
It's me.
I
Yes.
just read the last one. didn't
So
I?
Castle Black Mason is a 4-cost loyal monocon, so mono power icon, just a power, guys.
Yeah.
But he's a builder.
4
Makes sense.
strength. Yeah, he's a builder, so Joe is already happy. No attachments except weapon. Action: kneel 2 builder characters to search the top 10 cards of your deck for a location or attachment. Reveal it and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Limit twice per round.
Is that me?
Yep.
Yes.
I think is fantastic in the builder deck. I don't think you run him outside of the builder deck, because when are you going to have that many builders outside of the builder deck?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I originally thought when I first saw him spoiled,
Not saying.
when I first saw him spoiled, I was like, ugh, there's just not enough low-cost builders to do this.
Mhm.
But then Builder at the Wall came out, and I was just like, oh, fan-fucking-tastic. Now I have a 1-cost builder. Castle Black Mason will kneel that guy every turn and get me a Craven, get me a Eastwatch by the Sea, get me a wall dupe, because there's going to be shit that's going to discard the wall in this box.
For
and
sure.
Put it on your deck and then pillage it and then take it with your on. So there's all kinds of shit that people are going to do to the wall. And going and grabbing a dupe of the wall is going to be like, yeah, fuck you and your stupid pillage and your stupid warship nonsense. It's a good card.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Daniel?
Yeah, probably good in the builder deck and nothing else. I mean, whenever you haven't, I mean, you're maybe not playing his action all the time, but that's the reason you're playing him. And kneeling 2 characters, yes, search is great. Yes, you're getting something out of it and you're making your deck that much more consistent, but it's dangerous. So, builder deck.
Dangerous in a good way.
Yeah, no, well, of course, and you're taking the risk, right? Whenever you're doing it, you whatever happens, it's okay, it's interesting. You're kneeling 2 characters for that ability, though. So I guess you can kneel himself, though, right? You can count him
He'd be
in the
one.
2 builders.
Yeah, you just need one more builder.
He'd be one. You need one more builder, so it's not as bad, but
But depending
And
on the
now that
scenario, though, it could be it could be pretty good. You kneel two builders to get that Hail Mary Craven off on one big annoying
of
character.
course, yeah, for sure. And But you're also, like we're saying, if we're running a builder deck or a deck that you know, or if you want to build around this, you want to go builder heavy, fine. If you're doing the average deck that runs a little bit of everything,
You're not putting that card in this deck.
No.
this
This card in that
reward
deck.
that's the thing. So is this a good card for a certain deck, and that's what we want out of this box? Yes. Everything else, meh. The art is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks
that's
like
cool.
he's seen some shit.
Date.
He's great. He's the kind of card that only goes in one deck, as you've all said. He's also the kind of card that I don't think you're going to be able to get him rolling until mid-game, maybe turn 2 or 3. You know, if you see this guy early on, you're probably just using him for defense and praying that he survives long enough. I think if you see him in the middle of your game and you've got enough builders down, you plop this guy down, suddenly that deck becomes very scary because you can basically fish out the solution you need every single turn. But there is a weakness to this action of his, to his trigger. You need 2 builders to get it to work, and
Shit.
a lot of the time I don't think you want to kneeling this guy as one of them, because he's a good chunky 4 cost, and a practice blade on him, he's a strength 5 bygone. So you're going to have wide boards when you want to trigger this guy, and that leaves that deck inherently weak to resets like wildfire. So yeah,
But there's
It's
a
sort of
card
card.
that Night's Watch has that helps with
there is a
resets.
card. The watch has tools to deal with it. But you
Yes.
have to be running that card at triplicates in that deck, in that builder deck, I think, because the resets will basically kill off this guy, and if you can't get this guy firing, that deck gets a lot worse. He's a bit of a linchpin card, this one, I think.
This one.
And I think that is it. So moving on to the next one, it is Gren,
Is that God, this is so confusing.
and that's you, Joe. I got it.
That's
Don't
me.
worry.
All right, Gren. Non-unique, or no, sorry, unique, non-loyal. I always do that. 3 cost, 3 strength, military, monocon, ranger. No attachments except weapon. Reaction: after you win a challenge in which Gren is attacking, move 1 power from the losing opponent's faction card to another attacking character. Up to 2 power instead if that character is standing. Go.
Well, Daniel just got back, so we'll skip
Yeah.
today.
Please.
Okay. I really like this card, but I also have one thing I absolutely hate about it, and that's that I almost have this horrible feeling that this guy's going to work better out of Terrell than out of mine. And that really pisses me off. And not only that, I think he works in the already very bountiful, very well supported Terrell Rush theme, and he just makes that build even more insane. Ah, God! Imagine
He
this guy
hangs
with
out
Randall,
with Randall.
man.
He's
Hey,
hanging out with
Randall.
Randall. He's like, "You're Sam's dad, right? Let's Netflix and chill."
Awkward. Yeah, that's Randall's so easy to trigger now.
But it has to be another attacking Night's Watch character, though.
Ah, damn.
So-
Swarm to the watch jank. There we go.
So-
I'm going to back myself up there.
So I'm guessing he's meant to trigger with the new Jon Snow, right?
Yeah.
The new Jon Snow and the
basically.
existing.
And the existing Jon Snow, yeah.
The one we
Oh, yeah,
forgot
okay.
exists. Poor Jon. Poor Jon.
Yeah, if that character is standing, not necessarily Gren. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Jon.
He's definitely the better out of Pip and Gren. And he's great in crossing as well. The new Night's Watch crossing build you'll be able to do.
And he works well with Jeremy Riker.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, he does.
Jeremy Riker.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
You. Yeah, you got me. You got me there. You got me there. This with Jeremy Riker is very nice, and I like his ability as well. I like the fact that it can take Core John out of the box, out of my books that I use him for as a bookmark, and maybe get him back onto the field of play. Maybe. And
Maybe.
also
That's a hard maybe.
I like the fact that, it gives you the chance to take an extra power off of Bera with their painted table stuff.
Fuck.
To kind of mitigate that swing
Ooh,
just
that's
a
a good
little bit.
observation, Shema.
Just a little bit of swing mitigation there if you're able to, pop them off a couple of times. So I like it. I don't
Yeah,
know
You
how
just have
you
to
guys
keep
would.
a character standing against the faction that kneels shit.
Well, I mean, even if you get his ability without, even if you get his ability without having that second character standing and taking the 2 power, just getting that 1 even, I think is a nice thing to get against Barra. So you don't need to go for the 2. The 2 is like I think it's a trap. The 2 is a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap. All right, I got to end my bar.
How do you have that sitting there?
Yeah,
He's prepared for any
Samuel has a
occasion.
very good point there.
I'm sorry. So that's Joe. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Dave. My bad.
No, I was just saying. I think you have a good point there. I think the temptation is always going to be trying to smash out for that too, but a lot of the time, just getting an extra power for a challenge is pretty great.
I hear it's fun. So next is Pip, and that's Daniel. Danielson.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to take a few seconds to say, as everybody, I'm sorry I had to run away. It was baby stuff. And because we have 2 babies here and I only have 1 girlfriend. So I actually want to talk about this card because I like the Rangers. And we skipped me, but I want to go last. I'm actually happy that this card has no attachment except weapons. And I'm also happy I find that this is great design, that it's winning a challenge while attacking. Right? Because if we're talking, we mentioned a lot of the other cards. Playing Night's Watch, I would love it to not be that. But I find that that's really good card design and balancing. And you mentioned the whole IKEA set out of Barra, Shomar, so you took that from me. My girlfriend plays a lot of Barra. And that whole table and chair combo and the swing. I like my Night's Watch to win power, but this does kind of the same thing. It ends up being a 2 power swing because you're gaining and they're losing. It is a bit of a trap if you're going for the 2 power, but if you can actually get it off, it could be game ending. And all this on a low cost character.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of card that interests me to fit in and to try in a lot of decks. Yes, all the other strong and expensive cards, but this one is one of the ones that's real interesting. So I'm curious to see where it takes us and how the meta adjusts, but I'm all in on Gren.
All right.
So it's my turn.
Yeah.
Pip, right?
Yeah.
Pip.
Another Ranger. Pip is 3 cost, military icon, 3 strength. Pip is loyal, and he obviously is unique. He has the Ranger trait. His text says no attachment except weapon, as many Rangers, and he also has a reaction after you win a challenge in which Pip is attacking. Choose another attacking Night's Watch character. That character gains insight until the end of the phase. Dave.
He's the least good member of the little Jon Snow Gren Pip trio, but
he's the third wheel.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I don't even know if I run this guy, man. You know, there's so much draw in this box already that's better than this. You know, we've got Bowen Marsh that is struggling for his space in the deck. You know, you've got the new gift, which we're going to wax lyrical about when it pops up on the screen in a minute. You've got your Ravens already. You've got Eastwatch. You know, there's so much fucking draw in Night's Watch. Do you really need another military Monarchon to sometimes give you insight? I don't know. He's okay. He's better with Jeremy Riker, though.
He's better with Jeremy Riker.
Yeah. I think that we finally kind of hit a card where this is probably one of the ones that just stays in the box. We already discussed earlier how there's enough card draw in Night's Watch, so you know, throwing more insight down on the board might not be the most useful when you already have so many other options. So there probably won't be too many people that are fighting to fit this into their deck when they can just leave in the box and choose other more valued options to throw in. So I think this is one of the ones that I say won't see too much play.
Yeah, he's going to go in a core Jon Snow deck, but that's basically it. I do like that if you attack military first and win, you can give Jon Snow insight, and then he keeps it for the whole phase. So if you do 3 challenges with Jon Snow, the core Jon Snow, you get 3 insight. It's cool. I don't really care about it, though.
Yeah.
Bowen Marsh gives Jon Snow insight during intrigue challenges already anyway, so he's all right, but he's probably not going to... He's going to be in just Jon Snow decks. He's not going to go anything else.
Agreeable. Next card is Samuel Tarley, And unfortunately, guys, this is one of the ones with no image, so we will just read it out for you.
He could go to Card Game DB, but he doesn't want to.
It's gonna
Yeah.
take a lot of shuffling around,
If you say so, buddy.
And I'll say again that there's racism going on, right? I'm the one who skipped again, so I know that I
You
had
ran
to
away.
go take care of some stuff, but
You
I
ran
got
away.
skipped on this one. I'd only read the card, but that's fine. I had nothing to say interesting. I'm only the average player on this cast anyway. What do I know? I'm French.
Why'd you keep skipping that out, guys?
My bad. I totally messed that
And
up.
I'm
My
supposed
bad.
to be Shomar's bitch, right? And he's not even taking care of his own. What type of leader? I mean, mutiny,
Hey,
mutiny.
I never ever said that. That's
I
between you
watch
and
a
Joe.
leader.
I watch over my Dan. You watch over your Dan.
Yeah, I want a new leader.
I never ever said that. That's between
I
you
can't.
guys.
I can't have
Dan,
two
just
Dans in my
fail.
army. Come on.
Seriously, same here. I like my Rangers. I love them. It's funny how this card you put this card in any other faction, it sees play, but that's just a symbol of all the love Night's Watch has been getting recently.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, obviously you got to change the text from Night's Watch to something else and blah blah blah. But
Well, when you put it that way.
oh, of course, yeah. You take Pip. every other Night's Watch you're playing, but it's a Tyrell card, or no. That's what I'm saying. You give something like that to every other faction that sees played. Cool.
So,
All right. So now we
Samuel
do.
Tarley.
Now we do Samuel
Yes.
Bay.
Okay, 2 seconds. Samuel. I'm reading this one. Sorry about this, boys. My screen has gone black. Here we go. Samuel Tarley, unique character, cost 3, strength 2, intrigue icon. Is a steward trait, and while Samuel Tarley is participating in a challenge, treat each other participating non-steward character as if its printed text box were blank, except for traits.
Oh baby.
Shema.
This
Shema,
card is
what you
this
got
card
here.
is so good. I think it's great. I mean,
I think it's pretty good too.
to
I really
be
like
able
this
to
guy.
just blank somebody in a challenge without having to play nightmares and without having to milk them first, because I guess unless you're playing the mirror match, you're really not worried about any other stewards participating in a challenge with him. I guess the only thing though is that it also blanks your own side, and I mean,
Yes.
I can't really think of too many, negative situations where you'd be defending with Samuel participating in the challenge on an intrigue and be upset that your side is getting blanked as well. But if you are able to get him other icons and throw him into the more meaty challenges that might, have a very detrimental effect on your Night's Watch board state, then getting Sam into those is going to be amazing as well. So anytime that you're able to blank a card is fantastic. And if you're able to blank a card without, having to spend money and you do spend the money for him, but if you're able to consistently blank a card every round without having to actually do anything other than just throw him into a challenge, I think that's great. I'm just curious to see how that might affect the other characters that are participating with him to try to win it. Unless you're just chump blocking, I mean, then you're not really too worried about that. But overall, I think this is going to be one that sees play for sure. Over the core Sam, for sure.
You got Practice Blade. You got Sworn to the Watch. You got Jeremy Riker. You got a Tricon that. You got a.
No, Riker.
Riker.
He's not a ranger. Get out of here.
Sworn
but
to the
you're
Watch
giving
makes
him-
him a ranger when you
Yeah.
have a Practice
Oh
Blade
wait,
on him.
yeah. Fuck.
Practice
Oh
Blade,
my
Sworn to the
god.
Watch, Jeremy Riker, Tricon that blanks anyone that is a challenge with him. It's amazing.
Jank.
That's amazing.
The jank, man. It is real.
So good.
Other than
Gonna
that,
be
I fucking hate the 3-cost slot. I despise it. There's
I know
nothing
you
I
do.
like about the 3-cost slot.
It's not as bad as it was, but yes.
It's not as bad as it was, but it's awkward for setup because you have to pair it with a 1
Mhm.
cost. It's awkward for first Snow of Winter because you're spending 3 gold and then
Joe, I'd just like to point out that the Night's Watch can run 9 one-cost characters now.
Wow.
not to cut you
Now
off
he's gonna go account. Yeah, you caught him on something. He's not too happy. He's got to check up on you.
No, I know about it. Are you running those
Please.
builders in a Samuel deck though? Anyway,
I prefer-
he's-
Are you probably running Samuel in almost any deck?
you're running
Even as a one of.
decks. I really like Core Sam. This
Oh,
Sam is non-loyal and he's 3 cost. I just hate that. I'm gonna have to I have to spend 3 gold on this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a monocon. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
But
hate
that's
that.
how- But that's how you played Night's Watch since the beginning.
No, I play 2 cost monocons.
Oh, such a difference.
Oh, there it is.
You know what this is? This
There
is a
is
grumpy old
huge
man's
difference
argument.
between 2 and 3. So,
Somebody's got to keep you in check. Come on.
no, but I love blanking people. You know, fuck the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
And
just
that's what
put
I
a
mean.
practice blade on. You put a
Miri-
practice blade on Sam, and then mountain does nothing.
Miri as
Yeah,
well.
that's great.
All those annoying abilities. Euron moving forward when
Yeah.
Greyjoy might try to do something sneaky. Sam, and just blank everything.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
Sam
see
is
play
awesome.
for sure, and it's
You
gonna
know,
do
it'll
big
so
things.
much fun.
I just hate the 3 costs a lot, especially when it's non-loyal.
Mm-hmm.
But you're paying 1 more gold for so much more fun.
Ugh. You're paying 2 more gold.
Yeah, but you're paying 2 for. Oh, yeah, because he's loyal. Okay, I'm sorry.
If this Sam was loyal, I'd love him.
And to beef him up, you got to pay a little bit of extra money too. So I guess you got to consider that as well. But even just on the intrigue challenge alone, he's gonna be very annoying.
He stops core Catelyn, which will be nice.
Bitch. But yeah, and we were talking about it for the other cards also, right? There were a few other ones that were coming up. This is Milk Bait. This is Nightmares Bait. This is so he's attracting all that shit, and the rest of your deck can do whatever they want. This is just me, and this is before actually putting him on the table. I foresee, except for decks where I want more reserve, this Sam will take the spot of the other Sam in all my decks. For me personally.
Yeah, and this is gonna make fishing net come back so big. Fishing net's
That
going
fishing net. Oh, that fishing net is gonna be amazing.
every Greyjoy deck till the end of time. Fishing net just for Sam now.
And you're gonna play that monocon guy that allows you to ambush them also. What are they called?
The Raiders from Pike.
Oh yes, that famous card that you
Fantastic
think is going
card.
to eventually win you a store championship.
One day.
Yeah, he's gonna do good.
So we'll
It's
move
gonna
on
be
to the
nice.
next one. We know that Sam is good and a character milk of the poppy that does what he wants and milks everybody instead of just one person. It's fantastic. The next card is depending on how you like to pronounce it, Satin.
Satine.
Satine.
Satan.
And
Satine.
so that is me, number 13. He's a 2-cost character, Joe's favorite, strength 1, monocon, just an intrigue. He's a steward. So when him and Sam are together, he doesn't get blanked. No attachments except weapon. Reaction: after Satin is knelt, choose and stand another steward character. Limit twice per phase. Joe?
Twice per phase. I like him. He works well with the new gift. He works well with Maester Aemon. He works well with your fucking reducers. Reduce a character, use new gift, get another gold, stand the reducer, use reducer again, reduce another thing. It'll be nice. It's a nice little combo piece, but as a card, the body is kind of shitty. He's non-loyal, so I have to pay 2 gold for this guy. He's only 1 strength, and he's a monocon, but other than that, the bow looks cool.
Mm-hmm. Daniel?
Yeah, pretty much a lot of what Joe said. And finally stewards are getting a little bit of love. We saw that builders were getting a lot. The Rangers are getting some. So we're talking. It's supposed to be all 3 of them, right? So good card.
And then you can stand Bowen to have his Tricon be standing again. That'd be nice.
Oh, that's worth it. Yeah, for sure.
It is.
Dave?
He's great. He's one of the best cards in the box. On one hand, you can use him for sweet new gift combos. You can get 2 cards for 1 nail with this guy with the new gift, or you can get 3 gold worth of resources with this guy and the new gift with 1 nail. Oh, sorry, 2 nails, but one you can use twice. So you kneel the Steward of the Wall for gold. You kneel Satin to stand him back up again. Trigger the new gift at the same time. Yeah, he's awesome. And also, he helps all your big guy stewards. So in an Aemon deck, he's standing your Aemon back up. He's standing your Jon Snow back up. He's standing Bowen back up. He's wicked. He's a one-of in every deck, which features stewards, which is pretty much every night.
Every one of them, yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part. Bowen, if Baratheon kneels Jon Snow so that you can't do any challenges, just stand him back up.
Yeah.
Yep, and you can't
Yeah,
milk
for
him.
Jon Snow, yeah.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I
You
see
can't
that.
milk him either. No attachments except weapon. You can only
Yeah.
nightmares him, and now you really are nightmaresing this guy.
You're nightmaresing Santon? I don't know
Oh
about that.
gosh.
Yeah, but and even with Corset, all of a sudden, I think this guy likes this new Jon Snow, but Corset Jon Snow is like, bring him for sure. He's like his new best buddy, right?
Yeah.
Because if ever Jon Snow for some reason gets snelt or something happens, he's back up and he's going in all 3 challenges.
Yep. He's very good with both Jon Snows. He's great.
All right, Lost Ranger, Joe.
Lost Ranger. He's a non-unique, non-loyal, 2 cost, military monocon, 4 strength, ranger, no attachments except weapon. Forced interrupt. When the challenge's phase ends, if you control no other ranger character, sacrifice Lost Ranger.
Dan.
Daniel.
Well, I don't know. I'm a little iffy on this one. I tend to play quite a few Rangers, so that's downside is actually interesting. And maybe not as worrisome, but we did say, I mean, you will get these odd games where you're fucked. So, mind you, you're only throwing in 2 gold into this character, right? For that strength ratio, and we were saying that Riker tends to make Rangers.
Riker!
Jeremy Riker!
I'm telling you, this is like turning into the Riker box. It's like we're going Star Trek on your ass, you know? It's like,
Jeremy Riker.
bring it. No, the more I think about it, the more I want to fiddle around with this card. I want 3 ofs. I want them in my decks. I really want to play the shit out of it. Yeah, it's a good card.
Yeah,
I mean,
anytime you can get 4 strength for $2, I think that's fantastic. And you guys are making me eat my hat with the Riker thing. You know, I
You're
guess
not
this
wearing
is
a hat.
No attachments except weapons is.
eat my coffee cup over the Riker thing.
Who drinks coffee on a Tuesday night?
I gotta stay up to do this. I don't know how Dave's doing it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think that this is good. Anytime you can pay 2 for 4, and yeah, you know, the odd time you'll lose them because you have no other Rangers out. But I think that currently you should have options in your deck to make sure that this guy doesn't go. And if he does, like Dan said, you only pay 2 for him, so it's not too much of a hit to
risk
you.
is.
Joe?
Did you say anything, Bay?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is it
mean,
me? Is it you?
I guess the immediate point of comparison is the Fickle Bannerman in Baratheon. And that's a great card. You just don't play it when it's going to fuck you.
Yeah,
Same
I've
rules.
heard that it's a terrible card.
It's a good card, man. It's
People keep telling me it's a terrible card.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know.
people are stupid.
I don't play Baratheon, but people keep saying, "But Joe, it's a bad card."
Yeah,
Like,
well,
no, it's not.
Fickle
I played
Bannerman.
it last weekend, and Fickle Bannerman inside of Baratheon is like. So it's the same thing, right? This guy, he's our best icon. Night's Watch best icon is what? Is military?
Military.
Or the one you get the most of. So
I'm
So-
not sure which deck this guy goes in either. Actually, to be honest.
it's
I
interesting. I like the card. You know, if I just look at the numbers and I look at what it does, I'm like, this is objectively a good card. But at the same time, I know I'm not gonna play it. And it's a weird
So there you go.
position to be in because it's like, I like it, but I'm never gonna play this card
Yeah.
because it's just another monocon. Like,
Mhm.
where am I gonna put all these fucking monocons? He's gonna be good in the Jeremy Riker deck, but if I'm not running Jeremy Riker, I'm not running this guy. I thought it was funny. Cameron Davidson of the Minnesota meta, he like posted a picture when this card was first revealed. He posted a picture of the direwolf pup, and he's like, "How is this fair?"
yeah.
And I was just like, "Hey, he's got a good point." But I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't know. Objectively good, but unless you're running a shit ton of Rangers, I don't know why you're running this guy.
Yeah.
I like
And
the
even
idea
then, what's he
behind it.
doing?
And I do like the forced interrupt is not nearly as bad as the guy, the Bannerman, and it's not anywhere near as bad as Will. Fuck Will, by the way. I need to say that in every video that I'm on because fuck Will.
Yeah, fuck you, Will.
Fuck you, Will. It's not Will Wentz, just the card Will. But you know, if he's your only Ranger, he's military claim. You know, it's two gold. Fuck it.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
yeah, at the same time, I just don't think I'm gonna play
I
this.
don't know. I can agree that he's not like the barbecue sauce that you put on everything, but cost for strength and the risk is it's a good card.
Yeah, objectively a good card.
Yeah.
Szechuan sauce
Yeah.
goes and everything.
Okay. On to the next one. This the seasoned woodsman.
Are we still
What's
on
he
the
seasoned
barbecue
with?
sauce thing?
They might
Seasoned
be,
woodsman
I
is
don't.
me.
Seasoned woodsman. Yeah.
Card 15, that's me.
Oh, I envy you. You've got a really interesting one here.
Yeah, but I don't get to speak first, so all I get to say at the end is yeah.
God,
So
this
2
card's
cost.
shit.
Yeah, power icon, 2 strength. Loyal. He is a builder, so he goes in that builder deck. Has a reaction.
No, he doesn't.
Let me read the fucking card before you have to say interrupt.
I can't let you spread falsities. Falsified documentation.
So you'll get a chance to actually tell me I'm wrong. I guess I won't play builder then. Reaction: after you attach an attachment to seasoned woodsman, either gain 1 gold or draw 1 card. Limit twice per phase. So day is first.
God sucks.
That's how you respond to it, really.
You
This
just
guy-
gotta let me read.
Just, he's just not. He's never making the cut in any deck, not even the builder deck. Oh, sometimes he'll be able to draw you a card from your practice blade. Whoopee.
Oh man. Sign me up.
I don't know, man. You're probably running the Swarm Brother over this. You're probably running you're definitely running the Shadow Tower Masons over this. You're probably running that new 1-cost builder over this.
Pip.
Probably running
Pip over this.
Anything over this, really.
But if you
You're
put
running.
Sworn to the Watch on him, he becomes a double builder.
What?
I know.
He's reducible by fealty. That's something you say when there's a loyal card, isn't it?
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
reducible by fealty.
That's
Who
about
gives a
it.
fuck?
Yeah, we can all agree that this is kind of a meh. And
Uh,
jump it to the next one.
You can Craven him, and gain a gold.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That'd
Spicy
be
play.
nice.
You can
That's-
get a refund for your Craven.
So good.
Or you can cycle your Cravens. Honestly,
If you Craven
there-
him, it's free.
this is evergreen. So maybe somewhere down the line, you're running 12 attachments or 15 attachments, and this guy's suddenly good. That's not right now, and it's not for the foreseeable future. Pass.
hmm Somebody in the chat asked, "Can your opponent get the reaction from milking him?" I don't believe so.
No, you can't get. First of all, he's milk.
That'd be great.
Once you milk him, he's milked. So even if you could, you can't react.
I'd love to see the game where you milk this guy yourself. You go, yeah.
To draw a card.
My big combo. No, no. You generally, unless it says otherwise, you can't trigger other people's abilities.
Mhm.
After you attach, you meaning the controller, therefore you'd have to attach the attachment yourself. So no.
So on to the next one.
Builder at the wall.
Agreeable. Builder at the wall.
Another card we don't have an image for some reason.
Nope.
It's super big and buffy Santa Claus.
That's
This is the best art. You have to get this one.
There's
Who's reading this?
It
that's
is
you,
the
Dave.
best fucking art in the pack.
They'll have to wait till the pack comes out, unfortunately. Or go on card game.
Who's, who's
that-
reading this one?
That's Day, right? It's number 16.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. Builder at the wall. He's a non-loyal, 1-cost, strength 1, power icon monotone builder. Marshalling action, kneel builder at the wall to reduce the cost of the next Night's Watch attachment or location you marshal this phase by 1. So, yeah, Shomar.
Yeah, so this has immediate synergy with the seasoned woodsman because you just kneel builder at the wall to reduce the cost of an attachment that you throw on him to then draw a card, and that makes this one excellent.
God.
No,
That's a spicy
no.
combo there.
Um,
That's a spicy combo indeed.
It's interesting that we have a character reducer that works on Night's Watch attachments. I don't know if you guys even ever have seen that, you need to reduce the cost of this attachment because they don't obviously have the factional attachment that everyone got as a location. So this kind of helps you guys, Night's Watch players, not you guys, helps Night's Watch players get attachments out at a reduced cost like any other faction would. But I don't know if it's actually necessary. So I wonder if you guys think that this is actually a card that is necessary, because I don't really see an issue in getting attachments out as an Ice Watch player.
You don't. The martial action's fine. You play it because of the builder trait.
Yeah.
You have it in the builder trait. It makes Abandoned Stronghold better. It makes Castle Black Mason better. It makes the Grizzled Miner better. Oh, does it? No. But it makes other stuff that likes builders better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's a reducer. How do you grade reducers? They're good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can really say about it.
Econ.
I wanted to talk about the art because that's the best part of this card, by far. It's like this fucking like jacked Santa Claus. He's like nailing a nail into some ice for some reason. It's not going into the ice, but he's just kind of carving the ice.
Chipping away at it, yeah.
He's just chipping away at the ice. And Rowan, someone posted on Facebook, and Rowan Gavin made the comment like, depends on, that could be the normal size nail. So it's like this guy might be a small person, if that's the normal size nail. It's just so interesting, and I love this art. It's so amazing.
It doesn't look like Game of Thrones, does it?
It doesn't look like Game of Thrones at all.
I'm gonna quickly throw the art up. I'm gonna quickly throw the art up on screen because you're right. It's pretty funny. It's pretty bad.
It's this jacked Santa Claus. He's got these straps on his arms, so it's like, it looks like he's going on a covert operation, but then he's just carving ice. It's just awesome.
So here it is on screen.
What?
It is a Jack Santa with this massive nail thing that's carving ice or something.
It looks like a power drill in the picture if you don't look at it properly.
Yeah, that is actually the best part of the card. I think you're definitely right.
And like I said, it empowers Abandoned Stronghold, empowers Castle Black Mason. It's just another builder. It's another builder to put in the builder deck. It's fantastic. I love it.
There's one thing worth saying about it. He makes that terrible event not quite as bad.
We'll get to that.
You know the one, I shall win no glory.
I shall
where
win.
You have to kneel 3 of one kind of trait in order to cancel a challenge. And obviously the cards that we have the most of, the trait we have the most of as of this box is the builder trait, I think, by quite a big margin.
Yeah, they really evolved the builder deck with this box.
Yeah, they did. They really went in on the builder deck, which is cool actually. I'm glad they did that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on.
All right, sweet. Yeah. So on to the next one. I'll get that ugly guy off the screen. The next card is the new gift.
That's right. Man.
And that is me. Man. So the new gift is a 2-cost location. It is unique and loyal. And the North traded, it's also limited. Marshalling action, kneel a steward character to gain 1 gold, limit twice per phase. And a challenge action, kneel a steward character to draw 1 card, limit twice per phase. Joe?
Oh, I love this card. I mean, the economy that it brings is kind of whatever. Like, people are trying to say that, I know Day will say that draw is economy, but the gold, the gold that it creates.
Cards to play cards.
Yeah, whatever. The gold it gives you is just kind of whatever. It might help in a pinch. You just kneel a steward to get a gold if you really need to defend the wall and you're missing a gold to play the character that will help you defend the wall. Things like that. That's fine. The thing that shines is a challenge action. Kneel a steward, draw a card. That's amazing. I mean, especially your reducers are stewards. So if you have 2 reducers out, you draw 2 cards every turn.
Mm-hmm.
And you can time it so that after they've done their 3rd challenge, there's an action window, so you can do that after you're done defending. Just beware of, they can, if they just did their 2nd challenge and they're the 2nd player and you haven't used this ability yet, if you pass in that action window and then they pass the challenge, it goes straight to the dominance phase. So don't fall for that shit. But other than that, basically a draw or 2 pretty much every turn that you can do on command. It's not like a condition that you need to meet. It's just have a steward, draw a card, draw 2 cards. I fucking love it. Mm-hmm. And it's loyal.
Daniel?
Reduced by fealty.
And it's loyal. Hey, options are great. I for one am not ready to say that one is better than the other because everything is situational. It depends on your deck, depends on the game, and we actually have a card that grants us both. Mm-hmm. So, and it's not like Night's Watch aren't playing stewards. You just mentioned perfect examples of stewards that we have. We also in this box have a Way of Standing Stewards.
Satin.
So yeah, to me it's an awesome card. I don't know if it'll see play in every deck, but this is a great card to have.
Me? It's amazing. I think it's probably the best card in the box for me. It's just so flexible. It's so flexible. I mean, little things people might miss. You know, it makes your little one-cost reducers able to not just reduce characters, they can essentially reduce anything because you're needing them to get a gold. So you can even give yourself gold for the challenges phase if you need to do an event and you've got some stewards standing. Obviously, the satin combo is just great because you get 2 for 1 out of everything. You can halder it and it still works. I just think it's utterly fantastic, and I'm actually almost wondering if you're running this and three messenger ravens, you know, you are going to be plowing through your deck. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Don't
all
go to
these
time.
sort of
Don't go to time, yeah.
yeah, don't go to time. Yeah, but all these sort of janky combos where people will be like, oh well, that's never going to work. So you're never going to see enough cards for that to happen. This card increases the chance of those combos happening. I just think it's enormously flexible and just fantastic. Yeah,
Well,
really great.
Daniel, what did you say in our last review? On average, you get through 16 cards of your deck in a game.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
think
just throwing something there.
With
It
this
seems
card,
I
you're
was
getting
proven
through-
wrong.
With
He was
this card, you're
tired.
getting through 20 to 30 to 40 cards of your
Yeah.
deck. It's fucking
Man,
crazy.
Oh yeah, this is a jank enabler.
you could be drawing. You could be drawing like 4 or 5
Yeah,
cards a turn.
Yeah, you
in a
could
nice
you could be
box.
legitimately drawing like 4 or 5 cards a turn
That
with
is-
Ravens,
Like, no
this East Watch by the Sea. Oh,
That
gonna
is
be
It's gonna
crazy.
amazing.
cane through your deck, man. It's gonna be great.
And yeah, you guys hit it
Big
all.
site.
I'm just wondering, do you guys see any issue with the gold cost, having to pay 2 for this limited card?
it's loyal. It's 1 cost.
Well, yeah, loyal with fealty, of course. So no issues with that at all.
No issues. I'm a little worried about limited, but we don't have many limited, so
That's
You
true.
know.
Yeah, not as many.
yeah. We just have the neutrals, so we just have to balance this with the neutrals.
Mhm.
Whatever. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm happy as a clam.
Fair. That was my only question. So on to the next one. We are on to
Notorious for that
card
happiness.
number 18, which is Joe.
Is? Okay. Oh, I love this card. Oh my god. All right. Abandoned Stronghold. Non-loyal. Non-unique. It is non-fucking unique. 2 gold.
Wait. Can we get a repeat on that? What is
It's
it not?
non-unique.
Oh,
Non-unique.
get the fuck out!
It's a stronghold. It's the North traded, my favorite trait. Action. Kneel abandoned stronghold to choose a defending character. Until the end of the challenge, that character gets plus X strength. X is the number of builder characters you control. Holy fuck!
Oh man.
Oh, Daniel's gone again. So go ahead, Bay.
It's very powerful. I mean, you can run 3 of this.
Can you? Can you run 3 of them?
You sure can, buddy.
Oh man.
But I tell you what, I will say this about this card: the second someone gets bitten by one of these, they're gonna be like, reset the fucking board now.
Yep.
So,
100%.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Basically, how good it is depends on how reset heavy the meta it is, and how many crasters you have available to hand.
There's a character that kills resets in the Night's Watch.
Yeah,
You
wanna
wildfire,
be running-
they come back.
That's it. But you
was
need to be seeing this
wide
guy, and he needs to not be milked. That's a big thing. Remember, because it's the builder deck running confiscation. I don't know. You know,
Maybe.
there's a lot of ifs and buts.
It might.
It's
You never
it's
know.
very strong. It's very strong in one deck.
Mhm.
It's not going to see play outside of that builder deck, but in that one deck, it's really good.
And moving back to Dan, who's back now.
Well,
Yes.
unfortunately, I missed most of what was said, but I'm
okay.
pretty much guessing that this is a powerhouse in the builder deck and slightly below average and everything else, right? Something like that.
You guessed correctly.
It doesn't
yeah.
go in
Yeah.
anything else.
You
There you
betcha.
Shamar,
Yeah.
do you have anything to say before I go off on
All
this
I'm
card?
saying, all I have to say is that I would be very, very worried if this was able to fit in things other than the builder deck, but they did a very good job of, putting a pretty hard restriction on it. And that's pretty much it. So I'm not too worried about seeing it too much in play, because I don't think everyone's just going to switch over to the builders and hope that this works out for them. And they could get 3 of them out, but it would be expensive for them to do so, and I hope that it remains expensive for them to do so that it's not something that happens very often. But with the amount of draw that they can get off of the new gift, who knows what's gonna happen, man.
I don't know
I'm done.
if those two locations mesh, but I'll ask this question: how much strength pump does Marjorie give you?
3,
The core Marjorie. 3. How much does Renly's
Wow.
Pavilion give you?
1, or swing of 2, so +1
Swing up
-1.
2. This card is gonna give you like 4 strength whenever the fuck you want. Maybe more. If you have Craster out and you're defending your board and you have, 2 of the builder reducers, a Castle Black Mason, Halder, something else, that's suddenly 5 strength. So if you can get 2 of these out, that's 10 strength. That's a mountain in whatever you want. Any challenge, you can put a mountain to the fucking challenge. So what is your opponent going to do? Are they going to chump challenge and intrigue challenge? Then you'll just win it without these. Are they going to do a big challenge with their biggest characters? You can pump up to stop it. The Shadow Black Mason is unbelievable with this card because he's a builder and he's a Tricon pretty much instantly in the builder deck. You basically, as soon as you put the Shadow Tower Mason on the board, he's a Tricon. He's 3 strength with the wall out. This gives him at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strength. It is unfucking believable. And I have to say, I don't know what they were thinking when they made this non-unique, but what the fuck?
It's gonna get errated. It's gonna get errated.
That's
there's
what
no way.
people say about the Haunted Forest.
That and the Haunted Forest, yeah.
So what do you think they're gonna errata first, Haunted Forest or this? I don't know, but they're both incredible, and this is insane. I mean, political catastrophe or whatever it is called, political disaster, that might become a new plot that people have to play just because of this card. It is so good. You basically are locking your opponent into not being able to win any challenges in any round ever, as long as you have a good number of builders on the board, and Craster protects that board. Craster protects that board.
That's a lot of ifs and buts, bro.
Yeah.
It's just one deck.
Yeah.
It's
But
going to
it's
be-
gonna be a
It's
strong
going to
one.
be the wall deck. This is what makes it the best wall
It will
deck in
be
my
good.
And the whole time, Eamon's sitting back
Yeah.
there like, so you don't want to do a challenge, eh?
So
And then he just eats you up with that nonsense.
So basically, you're telling me that Baratheon is going to stay top tier because this is going to exist, and all the location hate that we have and it's coming up is all garbage stuff because you're going to build your whole strategy around it?
It's gonna be interesting.
No, I don't know. It's a good card. I didn't think you were going to give us a hard on this to that point. I know that you're going for the whole builder thing, but
No, this card is incredible.
Okay,
I think this is the best card in the pack, honestly.
I don't know about that, mate.
I know about that, mate. It is though.
I don't think that's
don't
the case,
builders have like inherent weaknesses also though? Where, I mean, a lot of power icons, a lot of reduction
what's-
and stuff, but
What's the most important challenge though?
that's true.
Hey.
But, and you're winning through your wall, and there are different ways around it, and I don't know.
You still need to be able to block military.
Yeah,
The only thing I'm concerned about is the icons, and if you have Practice Blade, Sir Alistair Thorn, throw in some Benjins and Aries and a couple of those red and green Tricons or Bicons.
Hey, Jay. Ryan Woods just texted me. He says, "Calm the fuck down."
I thought I liked
It's-
Ryan. It's a shame.
You do like Ryan. I see you guys are good
I'm
friends.
just throwing a wrench at you. I think it's a good card. It helps a certain type of deck. I didn't think that we were going to go all ape shit and have like an erection over this card.
I don't have an erection. I just am happy.
Just let him be
Let's
happy.
not make this vulgar. Disgusting. Fucking
Nah,
French.
I think he's right though. It's going to be one that obviously it's gonna mess up challenge math, and the fact that you're not worried about what icons the builders have, because this doesn't boost builder strength. It's just however many builders are out, it boosts the strength of a character
That's
Yeah,
you
and,
choose.
and like I said, Dennis Mallister, you can buff him, so you have a good shot at getting his renown. Corrin, you have a good shot at getting his renown. You know, Thorin, you know, you can win basically whatever challenge you want on defense once you have this.
Yeah, okay.
Thorin.
This is basically the card that is the win condition of the builder deck, along with the wall. Like, if you let the builders get set up to the point where they've got enough builders on the table and they've got this card, then you've probably lost the game at that point. So your objective for beating that deck is to stop that from happening. But it will take them time. You know, you're not going to be able to just splurge out the wall, this, and a butt ton of builders and military icons and everything else you need to keep the wall standing all together. That's going to take some turns. That's going to take good sequencing as well.
I agreed to a point until that reducer came out. Then I'm like, well, shit. Now I just have a bunch of one-cost builders that I can just plop out.
You still have to draw him. There's only 3 of them. You still have to draw.
Oh, we need draw. Is that? Huh. I wonder where we're going with that.
There's not enough
You
in
just
this
said you
box.
didn't put the new gift in the builder deck.
Hey, you don't
So
need
I'm
the
guessing-
gift.
So I'm guessing. My question is,
Alright,
what are you
we'll see.
what are you removing?
We'll
Are
see.
you removing Castle Black, or I mean,
remove
you're
whatever you
keeping
have
your
to.
Haunted Forest. This replaces your Haunted Forest.
Oh, let me just.
I don't know.
This is. I have 18 locations in this deck. 3 abandoned strongholds, a Brandon's Gift, a Castle Black, an Eastwatch by the Sea, 3 haunted forests, an Iron Throne, 2 of the locations that give economy, the 2 Kings Roads, 2 Rose Roads, a Shadow Tower, and 3 walls. So you still have plenty of locations, and then you have the Eastwatch Carpenters for gold, so you don't need the economy as much with the Eastwatch Carpenters. You have the Grizzled Miners, who are cheap as shit when you get these locations out. You have the Reducers that are cheap as shit. You have the Swarm Brothers that are cheap as shit. You just got a bunch of little things, and then Craster protects them all.
Yeah. And you still need those military icons though, bro.
Practice blades.
Practice
Yeah,
blades.
just 3 of them. And
3 practice blades. 3 practice blades, an Ari, a Benjin, 3 ranging parties. Yeah, maybe an Alistair Thorn, so that you get
Sounds
all
like
your
the
defenders'
builders
military
want
icons.
drinking,
Dennis
you know,
Mallister, your 3 Shadow Tower Masons. You're gonna get them.
I'm excited to see this get put into practice. I mean, it sounds great
same
in
here.
theory, but
Yeah,
I want to
into
see how it
practice.
runs.
Also have a point
Into
here.
practice
It's gonna be
blade.
a very strong deck.
We gotta
There's-
move on. There's only 2 cards
Alright.
left.
Yeah.
All right, so
Wait, there's
the
only
next
2
one.
cards left?
Well,
No,
so
there's
in the-
not.
Oh shoot, we're doing 25.
We're moving on to. We're on number 19.
I thought we were doing 20. My bad. Either way, Queen's
We'll
Crown.
accelerate a little bit. Let's accelerate a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the next one is Queen's Crown. I'll
it's
throw
me.
the image up real quick, and that is you, Dan.
Yeah. So I get the card that'll get my opponents to flip a certain table, a few tables. The Queen's Crown, which is a location, Night's Watch, cost of only 1, has the North as a trait. It is not loyal, and it reads: Action. Kneel Queen's Crown to reveal the top 3 cards of an opponent's deck. Choose up to 1 character revealed this way and place it in that player's discard pile. Place the other cards on the bottom of that player's deck in any order. Day, you're up.
They.
Whew, dearie me, this card is good. This card is really, really good. This card is good up to a point where I'm actually worried about how good it is and how it's going to affect people's opinions of Night's Watch as a faction. It is the missing link to the Steel Stuff deck. Up until now, we've had to rely on tricks to get stuff into the discard pile, like Varys, Winter, and Handchoke, and Marched, and all the rest of it. And then they've just printed a 1-cost location you can kneel to basically almost guarantee you can always get someone into the discards. It's crazy. And the real kicker is not just this; it's the new event they've released alongside it.
Oh my god. Oh.
Unreal. Imagine just there are so many good 5-cost characters that are the linchpin of certain decks. Your Knight of your Flowers, your Briennes, your
Tyrion.
Ashe of Greyjoys, Tyrion, Nymeria. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Even crappier ones like Magister Illyrio, and he's not even crap. There are so many good 5-cost cards, and with that event and this, and you're going to be running both of them at ×3 if you want to get that combo going, which you do. Yeah, I don't know. It worries me slightly because it is fucking good, basically.
Oh, this is it's already right next to NPE territory, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and outside of the steel stuff, it's
Steel
a bit of a
stuff.
psychological weapon. Yeah, the name of the deck is steel stuff. Outside
Steel
of all that,
stuff.
yeah, it's a bit of a psychological weapon. I don't know if you ever played against someone that's constantly pillaging or milling your deck, but it's got this sort of real I don't like that feeling. You're going over to my side of the table, you're rifling around through my cards, you're getting all the shit that I could draw into and play. And sort of losing control over that rather fundamental aspect of playing the game is really not a nice feeling inside your head, So yeah, it's got all these other little quirky elements to it. Oh, I don't know, and it's just dirt cheap. The only downside.
Yeah, it's
of
like
this
one
card,
fucking cost. What the hell?
it's one
Yeah.
cost. It's ridiculous. And the only downside of it, literally the only downside of it, is if it gets Bay of Iced and then pillaged by Euron, I'm going to be really, really sad because that's going to be horrible to have used against me.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the only downside.
Shamar.
I think we kind of spoke about this morning in our group chat, but the thing that bothers me about this card, and I mean, we don't know what effect it's going to have on the game yet, but it's been tried in other games, as Joe mentioned in his write-up, and I've seen it
Which
firsthand.
hasn't been published yet.
Well, you'll see it in Joe's write-up, and it's a card that was put into Netrunner and kind of very negatively affected the game in many ways. The only difference is in Netrunner, the card I'm talking about is Keyhole. As the runner, you always have 4 actions, so you were possible to do that. It was possible to do that 4 times in one turn, whereas this only happens once. But my thing with this is still, yes, it's going to be annoying. Yes, it's going to be stupid that, characters are just getting tossed into the discard pile for no real reason. It's just an action. There's no real cost other than paying the $1 for it. And then my other concern is the amount of time that it's going to take. I mean, yes, there are going to be people who are able to look at the 3 cards and quickly choose which one. But there are also going to be people who look at the 3 cards and, I don't know, there's 2 good characters. Which one do I want? Blah, blah,
Whichever
blah.
one you can steal.
Yeah, whichever one you can steal. But I mean, some people are going to sit there and kind of weigh the decision and slow the game down to the point where you might have to call judge and do things like that. So I just think there's just so many ways that's going to affect the game. And I think that any card that allows you to just mess with your opponent's shit for no reason does get pretty close to being NPE, especially one like this. I just think that the cost should have been different, maybe a little bit more expensive, 2-3 gold. I just don't get the price point. I don't get why this is necessary right now. There's so many things. I'm not going to get into it. We already kind of beat the horse this morning for a while and made a whole bunch of jokes about it. But I think I do want to see where it goes and how it affects the game. My impressions of it right now aren't the greatest, but I could be totally wrong. And I guess only time will tell.
Yeah. So Shamar keeps mentioning our morning chat. I'm putting Bay on blast because he was talking about this card. He's like, this isn't that good. It'll miss a lot. So I decided to do a statistical analysis of it. Just a real quick, nothing complicated. His hands are up, yeah. He already surrendered.
Yeah.
He already surrendered this morning, but I'm just gonna bring it up again.
I'm not gonna argue versus math. That's just a losing battle.
Yeah.
In most decks, you're looking at over 30, like over half the deck is characters. Let's say 33, 34, 35 characters in the average deck. So that's over half the deck. If you do analysis on, a 4-card setup plus a 7-card draw plus your 2 cards in your first turn, that puts you at 47 cards in your deck. If you draw an average number of characters in that first 13 cards, you're looking at a 90% chance that this hits at least 1 character on the first turn. And for every turn that you draw, you're drawing 2 cards. Your deck on average is more than half characters. So statistically, you're drawing 1 character per turn. pretty much. So you're basically increasing the ratio of characters in your deck. The more you draw your character, more you draw each turn, until the Queen's Crown starts filtering your deck. And it basically came down to, as long as your deck is half characters, there's basically an 88% chance that you're hitting something with this card. That's what we came to, and that's at the point when Dan gave up.
Yeah. At that point, I was like, so basically, this is going to miss maybe 1 in 10 times.
8 times, something like that. So, most of the time you're getting something. From there, you have to decide if it's a non-unique, maybe you want that for Old Bear. If it's a 5 cost, maybe you want that for Now My Watch Begins. Or if it's a 3 cost, maybe you want it for Yorin. You have so many options with stealing stuff. And if it's a 7 cost, maybe you just want to get it out of their deck so they don't have to deal with it. And then maybe you can Night Gathers it later in the game. You never know. So it's fucking insane. It's insane.
It's legit, man.
I just want to add to the jank train and to something that I don't know if it was mentioned or thought of. It's costs way too much and it's probably too much jank, but you can actually veteran builder to do this twice in one turn. So you were saying it's only once per turn, but wrong.
Yeah, without you're spending 4 to look at 6 cards.
Yes, I agree. I'm just saying it's
also, you can Tyrell, Bear, Maiden Fair. The Maiden and
Yeah.
the Bear and the Maiden Fair, you can just kind of pick and choose their
Caswell,
deck.
Don't forget Caswell's Keep. There's an
Caswell's
entire
Keep, yeah.
fuck up your deck archetypes
I
out
just
there.
I just find the condition to actually do this action is probably, we were talking about a lot of stuff that had a downside or was great design. I can see this card eventually becoming a problem. I don't know if it will be. I don't know how much play it'll have in the meta. I'm sure people will love it and people will hate it, but I think it's a little too easy to trigger, especially for its cost. I agree.
It's not easy to trigger. It's conditionless. You don't have to do anything.
There you go. So that's
Except
way
pay
too easy.
$1 for it and you're golden.
Yeah. Is Ryan talking shit again?
No. That was he's basically going on about how he's going to build that horrible Tyrell filter deck, quote unquote, just to fuck with people's decks.
So that is the Queen's Crown. There's a lot to be said about it, but we'll move on to
Play it in the steel
catapult.
stuff deck, probably at ×3.
We still need to accelerate though. We
So,
spent too much time.
Catapult on the wall.
That was an interesting card.
It was.
that was
It was.
That's date.
Yeah.
Okay. Catapult on the wall. It's a Night's
We already
Watch.
talked about this fucking card.
I know, right? What have I got this again? Cost 3, weapon, action, kneel catapult on the wall, and attach character to choose and kill an attacking character with strength 4 or lower. Attached character cannot stand during standing phase this round. Shomar.
Attach it to a steward, use it, then stand the steward with, was it satin?
Yeah.
It's pretty jank. It's pretty jank. I don't know. It's a decent card. It's gonna be fun to see Night's Watch just picking off characters to kill at will if they're 4 strength or lower. That's gonna be pretty interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be played the same way that Targaryen plays Crown of Gold. But I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I like the new design space where they're trying to put Night's Watch on the offensive. Joe?
This is a defensive card.
Well, on the offensive I mean killing people.
That's not offensive. That's just killing stuff.
That's offensive. Whatever.
All right. So, Dan and I already reviewed this on my channel when we got the spoiler, but this is a Targaryen card.
Shameless plugging.
Mm-hmm.
It is shameless plugging. This is a Targaryen card, honestly. You're not really going to run it in a Night's Watch deck unless you're weird. I mean, you could, I guess, but I don't know why you would. 4 strength is just low enough that it's not hitting hugely impactful characters. It fucks over Tyrion, it fucks over Asha. That's fine. But you're not hitting like Victarions and Balons and all the things that you're actually scared of most of the time. Mm-hmm. Except in Targaryen Watch, because Targaryen, you have Dracarys, you have Plaza of Punishment, you have there's more burn coming. You just have a bunch of bullshit that they're going to be able to exploit with this card. In addition, they have Plaza of Pride, which means you can just stand a character by discarding a card. That's the card that's coming out in this box. So you just this says cannot stand during the standing phase. Well, you can just use Plaza of Pride to stand them anyway, or Magister Illyria to stand them anyway. So this is a Targaryen card. It could see play in Tyrell because of Renly's Pavilion, but that raises it to 5.
Renly's Pavilion.
Yeah, that raises it with 5 strength, which is actually better. It's much better. Target range is 5 strength, but you're not going to run this in a Night's Watch deck, honestly. I mean, like I said, you might, but you'd be weird.
Tyrell.
What?
It also works with Randall and Tyrell and that Pavilion. There's a little janky synergy there.
Yeah, it does. Oh, God. Yeah, this is a Targ Watch and a Targaryen Watch. Or a Targ Watch and a Tyrell Watch card.
Dan?
Agreed. Moving on.
Sweet.
See? I mean,
On to-
you're the one who's saying, I mean, we got to go, right? Go. Next.
So the next one is Ghost.
Yes. And it's you, Shomar.
So Ghost is a 2-cost attachment. It is a direwolf, and this is Stark or Night's Watch character only. Interrupt: when attached character would be killed, return Ghost to your hand to save that character. Pretty straightforward.
He's good. He's really good. He's a reusable bodyguard, and yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's. A lot of people say, "Oh well, he's expensive, and you can confiscate him, and you're probably only going to run him a one-of," and all those things are true. But I think in a faction which runs lots of negative attachments like Night's Watch do, he's probably going to get confiscated less than you think. And I think every time if you see him in your decks with Old Bear and Jon Snow, which are going to be very popular, you're going to be very happy. He also reduces the requirement to run Aemon, or core Aemon anyway, a little bit, which is nice, because I don't know about you, but when I'm building my Night's Watch list, I always feel like, 3 times core Aemon, here we go. That is 3 slots already taken up, and I don't know, it's nice to be able to have an option there.
I go like, yes, 3 core Aemons. Yes.
Scub.
Oh,
Yeah, 3 core Aemons.
oh, I'm here to serve in my plot deck. Oh.
Here to serve 3 Aemons.
Yeah. I think it's nice to have the option between core Aemon and an attachment for big guys that can use it, So yeah, I like him. I'm going to run him as a ×1 in decks with Jon Snow and Old Bear.
Fair enough. Anybody else?
I think it's bullshit that you can't use this with core Jon Snow. I mean, that guy's taken so many hits already, You can't even hang out with fucking Direwolf now. It's fucking tragic.
Still strength 4 as well. What a world.
Fucking sad, man. It's fucking sad. I feel bad for him. But other than that, yeah, you guys covered it all. Saves are great.
Saves.
Saves are nice, man. They're pretty good.
So we've got Sworn to the Watch, and that's Joe.
All right, Sworn to the Watch. It's a loyal, 0-cost attachment. It's a condition. Attached character gains the Night's Watch affiliation. While attached character has a military icon, it gains the Ranger trait. An entry icon, it gains the Steward trait. And a power icon, it gains the Builder trait. Daniel.
This is... I'm not much of a deck builder myself. I'm a bit more of a deck tweaker, or I like to play the games, but this facilitates... Yeah, this is an awesome card if we're talking attachments. Unfortunately, it's a condition, so a lot of the Night's Watch characters can't take this attachments. But no, I said it before, I'll say it again. Versatility, you're granting traits, it'll enable certain combos that you can't normally. It's starting to get a little late for me. It's not that late, but I don't know. I'm starting to trying to see the combos, and they're not coming to me right now. But I mean, 0-cost attachment that facilitates in combos well. And I'm just looking at Day, and he's like, yeah, he almost didn't say anything. I'm all open for whatever combo I'm gonna throw at this. And you know what? That's great.
So many.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say about him. I know that when I pair this and I look at stuff, it comes at me, but I'll stop talking about it and I'll leave you the floor.
That's cool, man. I'm just excited because even though this isn't the best card in the box, it's my favorite card. It's
Jeremy Riker.
love it. Also, yeah.
Riker.
Jeremy Riker. Jeremy Riker.
Yeah.
But obvious Jeremy Riker aside, there's so much fun stuff you can do with it. For example, you can put this on Shay, and all of a sudden you have a steward you can stand with gold to repeatedly trigger the new gift.
So you get new gift, kneel it to get a gold, pay the gold to stand him, and then kneel her again for
Oh,
another
yeah.
gold.
Infinite
Wait,
loop
I'm
to
thinking
waste
more
time and
card
win on
draw.
power.
I was thinking more card draw with Tyrion.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. You can get 2 rounds of infinity combo off before you hit your challenge. You hit your limit on that. But that's just one example. I mean, I really don't want to spell it out for people, but there is so much. Any deck where you can manipulate icons, so this combo as well with practice blades as well. You can turn people into rangers with this and a practice blade. Admittedly, that's a bit more far-fetched than just, Jeremy Riker and this.
Samuel Tarly.
Any deck you can manipulate icons, you can manipulate the traits with those icons and all the cool synergy that this box has brought with those traits. So I think rather than writing it off, you need to give it a try, guys. And also the fact that it's 0 cost, non-unique, and set-upable. Any Greyjoy player with those boats will tell you that's fucking great. Yeah, and even outside of like banner builds, it goes on some really great characters in the watch. Jon Snow, he could be a Tricon quite easily. Same with that other Cotter Pike guy. It's just a great card, and I think people will be quick to go, there's not enough room for it in deck to... But just don't write it off. Try it
Why do
out.
they
There's
sound
a
like
lot.
I don't sound like that, do
My head sounds like that when
I sound like
That's
this.
that's his American accent.
I think that is. I'm calling racism.
I'll put it back in the deck.
It's supposed to be me, but I'll
Um,
skip and I'll let Joe go on and
Yeah.
give his
Okay.
insights.
Yeah, Bay has said everything. It's fine. The traits are great. Traits are what we build decks around right now, especially in Night's Watch.
In Night's Watch,
Yeah.
yeah.
With builders, with rangers, with stewards, you like them all. New gift synergy, abandoned stronghold synergy, Castle Black Mason synergy, Watcher on the Wall synergy is fantastic. I like it. It's a good card. So other than that, you can make Jamie a non-kneeling Night's Watch character for core Jon Snow to hang out with.
Yeah. So much jank.
On to the next
So
card,
good.
which is Now My Watch Begins.
Oh my god.
And that's me,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Now My Watch Begins is an event, 2 cost. It's a loyal event. It has reaction after a character with printed cost 5 or lower is placed in an opponent's discard pile. Put that character into play under your control. Bonkers. Date?
Oh my god.
This is just fucking great, isn't it?
Just
that
knock this one out
location
of
we were
the park.
talking
You got
about?
it. This is. Oh.
It's great. I think we already sort of spoke about this event so much with the other. cards
We've
that
talked
we've
about
already
this
reviewed.
combo all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the crowning glory of the Steel Stuff deck. There are not many 2-cost events that you want to run as ×3 because 2-cost events are expensive, but this is probably one of them. And you probably want to get Isle of Ravens in your deck to fish it back out and use it again.
Yeah.
And you probably want to get that sweet Shadow Black Lane. in
Shadow
your deck
Black
to
Lane,
fight it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it, and I can't wait to start pilfering everyone's sweet 5-cost bombs, laughing manically all the while.
Yeah. Queen.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
I was
jumping.
gonna say, I just think it's funny that they dropped the new Old Bear and then they gave him that non-unique limitation and then put this card in. So now it's like, why would I pay for Old Bear when I can just get this event and do it for 2 with my Queen's Crown? So
Yeah.
that's my thing.
That's
It's
why I think
redundancy.
that's another reason why I think Old Bear is just kind of meh.
Mhm.
Not. I mean, I guess he's not bad, but he's just meh. This card is amazing though. It's just the Queen's Crown really made this star, because before the Queen's Crown you had to keep 2 gold and then maybe your intrigue hit something, you know? Maybe you get lucky.
Mhm.
And then you start talking about like, oh, can I play Martel so I can get his Viper Eyes? Can I play Baratheon to get Seen in Flames? You know, how am I going to do that? And then you have all these little things going on in your mind. You're like, how am I going to get discarded cards? How am I going to get cards discard? What am I going to do with it? Am I going to Varus? That's really expensive. You know, I have to keep 2 gold when I Varus and everything like that. And then then Queen's Crown came out. You're like, oh, I'll just do it in Marshall. So
Oh, so
Oh my
good.
gosh. Yeah.
it's fucking ridiculous. Baron the Maiden Fair again. It's fucking great. You know. You get
Yeah.
Nymeria, you get Caitlyn, you get Brienne, Benjen, Asha, Arya, Ago, Knight of Flowers, Melisandre. Get Melisandre just to deny them Melisandre, because fuck that bitch and everything like that. So, you know, it's just fantastic. You love it. It's a good card.
It's amazing.
Yep, it's fantastic. I don't think we can all agree on that.
On to the next one. I Shall Win No Glory. I just like the name of this one.
That's
If
Dave.
only it were good.
That's Day. Yeah. That's Day. Oops.
Okay, so I Shall Win No Glory is a Night's Watch non-loyal event, cost 0, Hand's Judgment bait, and even more baity after that, with the reaction that reads, after a challenge is initiated against you, you can either kneel 3 builders, 3 rangers, or 3 steward characters to end the challenge immediately, with no winner or loser. Shomar.
I don't see this one being useful. Like, even you'd put this card in your deck for like a Hail Mary situation, and if you're gonna put one card in your deck for a Hail Mary, then it's probably a waste, and you're probably better off putting other options to make sure that you don't get to that Hail Mary stage. So I don't think that this card is one that's going to be useful. If it was like kneel 1 builder, 1 steward, 1 ranger, it'd probably be even better than the option of being able to kneel any one of the 3, or any 3 of 1, or
I
whatever.
actually think that's kind of fucked up too.
Really, if it was one of each, I feel like one of each is easier to hit than.
I think that would be more difficult. If
Yeah.
I had, I can just build a builder deck and have 30
Oh, right,
builders, and then,
right.
then it
In
becomes
that
easy.
sense.
But you know, having to have one of each out, that would suck.
I'm just thinking like in the current, I guess, Night's Watch build where you're not focused just on one of them, then I feel like it'd be easier for you able to, or any combination to get to 3.
Yeah,
Just
that's
3.
that's what I think. If it was just kneel 3 characters with traits,
Yeah,
that's better.
yeah. So because that's not the case, obviously, I just don't see this card being one that's going to get played, because like I said, it's a Hail Mary situation.
I agree. The only thing I can even come up with is like, what if I'm playing a Lord of the Crossing deck and they do shit challenge, all my renown, and then you can just end that. Yeah, that might work, but then they'll just hand judgment it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Ryan Woods do 9 power crossing challenge at Batalla at least, well, more than a few times that day. And I kept thinking in this situation, because we'd done the review on the card by this point, I was like, God, it would be hilarious if you could play that event.
Yeah, that's
9
like I said,
power
that's
crossing challenge.
that's the one case where I think it would be fantastic. But how many
Yeah.
times is that going to happen in a tournament? I don't know.
Not really, no.
You read your meta, I guess, you know. But even still, if you don't have the deck built for it, if you just have, like Shomar said, a kind of average Night's Watch deck, you know, a couple rangers here, a couple stewards there, a couple builders, when are you going to meet the requirement to play this? So it could see playing like the builder deck, like I said, with 20 30 builders. That could be possible, but other than that, I don't know. I think it's a bad card.
Damn.
It's a
trying
bad
to-
card.
You know
It's
what
just
happened?
Too much
right?
risk.
I mean, the Queen's Crown kind of just slipped in or something like that, and didn't get hit by the playtesters or the Nerf baton. And this thing's trigger condition is just crazy ass.
Bonkers.
So split that in half, put that into cards. Boom, we just fixed Queen's Crown. But
that and that's part
I
of my
don't see
issue
that.
with
I don't
it.
see this trigger condition. I mean, are you ever going to slot this? Take a slot in your deck, even in your super awesome builders deck, and take something else out for the odd time where it may actually save your ass. I don't know.
Fuck no.
If somebody builds a deck that's like that typical banter bridge deck where you're supposed to be playing all the garbage cards and you're having fun with it, if something comes out of Night's Watch and somebody's saying, hey, let's build something with a bunch of garbage cards, bingo, you'll have a blast and you'll laugh your ass off while you're losing. but
Nanter Bridge is an
losing.
amazing card.
Nanter
Amazing
Bridge
deck.
is
It's
Nanter
fun.
Bridge is awesome.
Fun, but it was supposed to be right the whole thing, and then you're taking those deck whole principle of the deck was take a bunch of garbage card, take this one location. I don't see this changing I don't know.
I think FFG just made this card as a secret troll. So you play it, I shall win no glory. If you put this card in your deck, you're not winning shit. You're
Yeah.
just playing
Or you
playing
get-
for fun.
You get
And
bonus points for playing it.
And then they gave it to me to spoil.
There you go.
Second troll.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sour tipper, really, wasn't it?
That tells you how much they actually they enjoy your what you're bringing to the meta and to the game, right? It's like, hey Joe, how about you spoil these? This is an awesome gift for you and your channel.
Fuck Joe from Cincinnati.
And so that was all of the Night's Watch cards. The 25th
No, there's
one.
There's
there's
one
a-
more.
Wait,
I have a
wait,
Baratheon as my
wait, wait.
25th.
No, number 46.
You gotta
to
go
card
down
number-
to the
Oh,
plots.
46? Okay.
Yes, this is another one that can become a problem eventually.
This will go fast though because there's not much to say other than like holy fuck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just let me
That
find-
sounds
Shit. Go to my builder deck.
It was my builder deck. Everything is in my builder deck.
I'll say it in French. I'll say I'll be tabarnak.
Sorry. Yeah.
Shoma
I
was
just-
like inside jokes. Ah.
No, I just swore.
So
man.
the last card, the 25th card, I guess is myself.
Yes.
And that is
Ah.
the Fire That Burns, which is a loyal Night's Watch plot. 4 gold, 6 initiative, 0 claim, and 7 reserve, sorry. Plot deck limit 1. Each Night's Watch character you control does not kneel when declared as a defender.
Hooray. No fun for anyone.
Plot deck limit 1.
Yep.
So is that
That's a good
I-
thing.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, obviously people freaked the fuck out when this was spoiled. They're like, the world is going to hell. The sky is falling. Which is fine. You know, I have that reaction to some cards too. So, you know, you're allowed to have that kind of reaction. The reserve is fantastic, so that you get the East Watch by the Sea stuff. You get the Fist of the First Men, even though it's a terrible card. Everything like that. I have to say that every time I mention Fist of the First Men, so people don't think I'm endorsing it. But you know,
One day it's gonna be a deck where that's good, man. I'm telling you. One day.
Yeah. One day, yeah, whatever. So having 0 claim, that kind of sucks. But you know, if you're playing a defensive deck, you can get away with not having claim. Doesn't really matter all that much to you. And then you know, like I said, you don't kneel to defend. What could be better than that? When you're defending, and you don't kneel to defend, this seems pretty
You
good.
can't Castle Black it anymore.
Yes, you can.
What?
Yeah.
I thought they have to be knelt.
No. I think Castle Black just says stand, right?
Wow.
Participating in stand? Let me just check.
Choosing stand and defending
Rules
character.
FAQ.
And if
Rules
you-
FAQ. Can I use Castle Black on an already standing character? Yes, you can. Neither part of the effect depends on the other. There's no then in between. So if either part will be successful, the action can be triggered.
Balls.
There you go.
Either way, this card's good. I was just trolling or trying to,
All you do.
and my troll failed.
Trauma.
However, I mean, we were supposed to go fast at this, right? And I do understand people who aren't playing the Night's Watch, especially the Night's Watch wall defense decks that are being played and very popular right now, and that are playing for the Watch. I can understand how people's jaws have dropped when they saw this and they said, "Oh, really?" So now in their plot deck, they're going to have this, and they're going to have for the Watch, which both have 6 initiative, which facilitate them going second. Mind you, this one has 0 claim, and it's just Haunted Forest made the deck that much easier to play and made a bunch of dumbasses play a deck that was not easy to play, but let's say interesting to play before Haunted Forest came around and made it a little simpler and easy. And I just think that this card does the same. Somebody will see this, they'll say, "Oh," and they'll be an asshole and they'll play the faction, and everybody who plays Night's Watch will be hated because of this card and the Queen's Crown and for the Watch, and it's a bit of an NPE card.
People
I can
already
understand.
hate the Night's Watch. That ship sailed. People hate
That's
the
This
Night's Watch.
doesn't help.
That's true, but that's what I'm saying. This doesn't help, and now you're thinking you're playing a game against Night's Watch, which is a clock deck, and you're figuring that you're going to have 2 turns where you're facing plots that are similar, whether it's this or for the watch. So I do understand how people aren't very happy, especially going into regional season, and we're getting this. What can I say? It's a card that we need to learn to play around. It's a winter
Yeah,
plot,
it's
so
it's kind of a no-brainer, really, isn't it?
Oh, it's
I
a
don't
fucking
like
winter
that.
plot? I didn't even notice
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Oh shit! It is a winter plot. Well, you're not using it in a winter deck, really, are you? I mean,
no,
You can
but
use it.
sweet zero
it'll
K.
enable certain things, right? So
Yeah, I guess. It will turn off things like what's that?
Winterfell.
Song of Summer, boost all the strength,
Mhm.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Turn that off. It's a bit of a shame though. I kind of agree with Dan. The wall deck was really fun before the Haunted Forest. And this is just another card that's a bit like, well, if I play that, I don't really have to think very much about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I played an Octagon League game the other night. I made like 2 or 3 mistakes. I was half drunk actually when I played the Octagon League game. I was seriously. I was been at the pub. I had 4 pints, and then I came home and I played an Octagon League game with Nightwatch Fealty, and I won. I won half drunk.
and now
It's
now
just that
with
simple.
now with this
And-
you could actually be pissed drunk and you still win with this one.
And I actually
Just be fully
have
pissed.
I have several recordings of Dan when he's fully drunk, and he plays like shit when he's drunk. You have to dictate what to do to him.
No,
when
I
he's
wasn't.
drunk.
I wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad. I wasn't at like do what I'm telling you to do, Dan level.
Like,
I
man,
could
I'm gonna
still
let
get
this
my
challenge go
decisions
unopposed.
happening.
You have a defender right there. Oh shit, I do.
No way.
Well, no, I was saying this before. Most of the fun for me in this game and in most games that I play are those decision points. And what I really liked about when I played Nice Watch originally during the first cycle was that, I felt like I was making so many decisions. And yeah, it might seem easy because when I was playing against Joe, I was like, man, he's making this look so easy. This is the easiest freaking thing. But then playing the deck, I realized how difficult it really was. And that's what made it fun for me, trying to decide what is the right play here. And I just think that by taking that away from the Night's Watch players, yeah, it makes it easier for the deck and it makes it, I guess, more popular because now more people can enjoy it. But at the same time, I guess for you guys, or maybe Joe will speak differently to this, but I just feel like it makes it less fun when you do have less choices to make because not that it's autopilot. I'm not saying that Night's Watch players aren't still great and very skilled players. I just think that
Avoiding the triggers.
I just think that you're taking away part of the fun when you put out cards like this where, I'm just playing brain dead and I know that the first challenge I don't have to do shit because no one's going to win or lose it. And then playing this card like, oh, no one's going to kneel for defense, so I don't have to do shit again. And then even if they do somehow get by, I got Haunted Forest out there and I'm going to get power from the wall anyways. Like, there's just all these things that just happen. It's brain dead play. All these things are just going to happen just because you're sitting at the table. And it's the same to be said for Baratheon, where it's just like, oh, I put down the table and I put down the throne and I'm just going to steal power just because. Like, those things I just don't enjoy in this game currently. And
I
that's
agree
just
with you,
my
man.
little
Yeah,
rant.
I can't stand that
I've
shit.
I've gone on record multiple times saying the Haunted Forest was a ridiculous card to release. I don't know what the fuck they did.
And I'm glad that you agree. Most people
Yeah.
would just like, no, what are you talking about? It's so fair, man.
I mean, I play it.
No, he
Wrong,
play.
I
No,
play that
I know you play it. And
It's
I'm gonna
efficient.
keep playing it.
if I had a card like that in Greyjoy, I would play it too. But I'm just glad that you acknowledge that, something
No,
about
anyone-
it wasn't right.
Anyone who doesn't acknowledge it is full of shit. You can't make an argument for why that card is fair. It's stupid. And the same for this card to a degree. I think that it's kind of stupid. You have the Shadow Tower, Mason. You just defended all the challenges.
And thank God they were smart enough. Somebody somewhere in FFG or playtesting has a brain, and they made 0 claim on it.
And plot limit 1.
Yeah, for sure. And 0 claim because holy shit. Yeah.
It should just read. Skip the challenges phase. Kneel your wall for 2 power.
Yeah.
That would be a nice plot.
It would make a lot of difference. Honestly.
So,
Oh man.
all right. Well, with that wraps up the review. We've gone, in addition to Dan or Day, wasting an hour of our time at the beginning.
Sorry.
This has gone way over
I
time.
do apologize about that.
It's only been 2.5 hours, and I think that's pretty good. I was expecting it to be a lot more, but we did wrap up the first 25 cards, or all the nice watch cards, and our plan is to finish off. How many? Are there 60 or 50 cards in this? I can't even
I
remember.
think it's 52. in the
52.
back.
52.
52.
There's 27.
Okay.
So there's 27 left.
And I think that in doing the other faction cards, you'll move a lot more quickly.
Because I'm not actually excited about any of those cards.
No, we won't.
I
I'm
think,
really
well, not a
excited
lot
about
more
it.
quickly, but just a bit
You're
quicker.
considering we're taking away all the fun again. No, we
No,
won't.
just
We'll-
a bit quicker. But the thing is, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but even though we went on for so long, there's still 38 people watching. So we must have done something right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. That's awesome,
Thanks,
actually.
guys. You've
Yeah.
been beautiful.
So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and look out for the part 2 when we finish off the box and get into the other colors of cards.
I'm not committing to any time for that. We'll do it when we feel like it.
Joe-
I'm really looking forward to it, and
Joe
don't worry
would
about
quit.
Jay being a negative Nancy, because that's just the kind of guy that he is.
All right, guys.
Negative Joe.
Thanks again, everybody. Take care and have a fantastic night. Peace.
Nice watch, and everyone have a